so excited.
Tonight on the podcast, we're talking about Neil deGrasse Tyson sticking his damn nose where it doesn't belong. Corey Feldman talking about the Goonies. Whole lot of Mark Ruffalo running his mouth about spoiling Avengers things like he does. What If, talking a little about Superman and Lois, Mandalorian, Don Cheadle, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and so much more as we review the first episode of She-Hulk. Lance, hit that music. It is Friday night in Phoenix, and you're locked in to the hottest podcast on the planet. The absolute, at least in our minds, I should say. The Absolute Geek Podcast. I am Matt.
I am Lance.
As you can see, Max is not here with us today because he has decided to go to a bald and bearded convention in California. So he's out there with all the other bears stoking it up in California. So we send Max your best. We miss you. Good luck out there. Make sure to sanitize and wash your hands when you're getting all oily with the other bald bearded men out there. Lance wasn't invited because his beard just isn't quite there.
I was gonna fucking say that, you asshole. I was gonna say you have to send in like a picture of yourself beforehand to get a special invite, and they said I just wasn't manly enough.
Yeah, he got invited by his doppelganger Colin Robinson from What We Do in the Shadows. So he went up there and he's at the Bald and Beautiful Bearded conference. So what's up, Joe? Joe's dueling. How's it going?
What's up,
Eric
buddy?
Williams, what's going on? Patrick, what's up, my man?
Your mom.
More first. Lopez, Darth Lopez, welcome. Your mom says like that sounds like a setup for an episode of CSI. Hartman, how's it going? Hope you guys are all having a great Friday.
I'm excited to talk about She-Hulk, dude. I'm really excited to talk about She-Hulk. But what I'm even more excited to talk about is this fucking Manti Te'o documentary that I just finished.
Hello, Aaron. Yeah, I watched it on Wednesday night.
Yeah, my heart like broke for this kid, dude. Like I feel so bad for him. He was supposed to be the stud, and he just, oh, dude. I don't know. For the longest time, I thought he was involved with the whole thing, and that documentary completely changed my mind.
Well, what's funny to me is like Aaron's never heard of it. Aaron never heard about Manti Te'o. So
really,
she came home. Yeah, she was at her friend's house doing the wedding invitations, and she came home, and I was watching. I was in the second episode because it's only 2 episodes on Netflix. Definitely worth watching.
Yeah.
So I explained the whole thing to her, and she's like, "How do you not know to like check? How do you not know to be like, not meet this person? You dated this person for 3 years. How do you know? You know?" And I was like, "It's a different time." And he did his due diligence, and it just the web of deceit this person that catfished him laid is amazing. Like,
did you hear him or her? Well, she's transsexual now, right? So I don't know what she goes by, but did you hear her do the girl's voice?
Yeah,
it's insane. Insane. It's like a different person, dude. Like if that person was talking to me on the phone, I would think that was a chick too. Like there was absolutely no reason to think that wasn't legit.
Yeah.
And then even has this person send a picture with like today's date and like a paper on it and all this stuff. And the catfish freaking calls the person that is actually in the photographs that Manti Te'o thinks he's, and tells her to do this picture for like a sick kid or something like that. And she does it like nothing. I just feel bad for that guy, dude. It just made me completely change my perception of him.
I mean, just like the web of deceit it went to be like, oh, she was in a car accident, and pretend to be her brother and call him, pretending to be her brother, being like, oh, she was in a car accident. She's on life support. They're saying she's not going to make it. Talk to her, and to go to the length there to like make him think that he's talking to her and breathing, and then say his name, and she makes this miraculous recovery only to say she's got cancer, and then end up like supposedly dying the same day as his grandmother. And just the whole like web of lies that went on about it. And then to come out of nowhere and be like, Mante, I'm alive. It's me. And, you know, he did his due diligence by saying, all right, send me the picture, today's date, my initials, and then doing this. And she did it, but it was because he fed lies to the girl whose picture it was actually that he went to high school with.
Yeah.
Lies to her. And oh, dude, it's so crazy. If you like sports or documentaries, anything like that, you got to check out this Manti Te'o documentary on Netflix. It's so good, and I feel bad because I made fun of the dude when it happened too. Like, I've made Manti Te'o's girlfriend jokes constantly. So
I've shared memes. I've made jokes about it live on the air. I'm pretty sure, like, and now I just feel so bad that, and I feel bad for him, dude, because he was supposed to be a like top half draft pick, you know what I mean? Gets and loses millions of dollars and gets drafted in the second round, all because of the scandal. Like, he was a Heisman Trophy finalist.
Yeah.
And loses it to
Johnny Manziel,
who's an even bigger train wreck. Yeah. That guy's got a few screws loose. But just feel bad for that kid, man. Like,
Hartman says, what girlfriend? Boom. Too soon?
Ish, do you know what we're talking about?
What's going on, guys? For a second, I had no idea, but then you said his name, and I do remember.
Context clues.
Manti
Yeah,
Te'o.
that documentary Ish is really good. You should go check it out. It's on Netflix. But yeah, man, that was crazy.
And the crazy part is so I when I was watching and I posted on Facebook, I was like, Manti Te'o is just looking for love. And fucking Sam comes out of nowhere. Oh, I know Manti Te'o. He went to my church when I lived in South Bend, Indiana, and he's a nice kid. And it's just like, of course you do. Of course you do.
Sam's always got to make the story about
Sam?
him.
Huh?
Our Sam?
Yeah. Richardson, yeah. He apparently knows.
Always got to be about Sam.
They went to the same church.
He's a superstar.
Yes. Your mom says you better not watch it without me, Ish.
Oh, boy. I promise to watch it with your mom.
Boy.
I like how everyone lived in Indiana, right? I'm just there. But yeah, crazy stuff.
The laugh track's back.
Yeah. I like those Netflix documentaries though, and it's cool that they're coming out with more of them. So
yeah, it's
Aaron says maybe when I was 12 I had my little internet boyfriend.
Yeah, there's some really good documentaries. I watched the one, HBO Max has some good ones, Hulu has some good ones, but I watched the one over the fundamentalist Mormons that live in like Colorado City or whatever, Warren Jeffs. That's fucked up too, man. Like, that dude is evil incarnate. He builds a temple and then puts a secret room in the back with a giant like king-size bed where he is essentially molesting 12-year-old girls.
Yeah.
And making other 12-year-old girls, like his wives, watch him do it to these new inductees, I guess you could say. Yeah, keep sweet, obey and pray. Yeah. That's the name of the documentary, dude. It is fucked up.
Yeah, and then Hartman's talking about the Netflix mockumentary one about the kid who spray painted the dicks in the high school.
Yeah, that's what's that one called?
That guy
American Graffiti.
No, American Graffiti is
mockumentary.
That's a movie. Is it American Graffiti?
I can't.
No, that's a George Lucas movie.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. But there's good ones on HBO Max. They've got a good Tony Hawk documentary.
They do?
Yeah.
I haven't watched that one.
They have a really good 2-part George Carlin documentary also.
I watched that one. American Vandal is the name
Oh,
of
that's
that.
what it is. I knew it was American something.
Yeah.
Patrick says, no, it's not American Graffiti. Ish said, your mom says, I met Ish on Facebook before I moved to Arizona, so I get behind a little nervous there. Might be something off about your internet boyfriend, right? Well, you hear all the time about people meeting people on like Warcraft and like all kinds of crazy shit. So
there's entire companies devoted to just meeting other people. Like shit, I can't think of any of those dating apps. Right? What's the big
Plenty
one?
of Fish?
Or what's the one where you swipe? Tinder.
Yeah.
Farmers.com.
Yeah.
That one had the best song.
Farmers Only.
Farmers Only.
You don't have to be lonely at farmersonly.com.
There's also Christians Only. There's I've seen quite a few commercials for Only something.
Only fans.
Expand your horizons, people.
Yeah. There's J-Date, Bumble, there's all kinds of them. But
Grindr, which Matt is a premium member on Grindr.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Is that what it's called? Grindr?
Yep.
It's called, yeah. That's funny.
On the MODOK show, it was Grumbler.
Grumbler? So it's like
and it was run by the villain. And MODOK had to work for him.
They canceled that show, dude.
Meaning no season 2?
Yep, it's done.
Wow.
Dunzo. I thought that show was hilarious. Remind me of like Marvel's version of like Robot Chicken. But
Stumbling Jedi says Grindr blocked my account, been lonely for years.
That's hilarious. You and Aaron met online, Matt?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Maybe I did.
How else were you supposed to meet people in the middle of a pandemic?
That's true.
Except we met on Bumble. So the difference about Bumble is Bumble makes the woman make the first move. So you just swipe right on her if you like her, and then she has to swipe right on you too, and she has to message you first. So it's like if they message you, they're obviously very interested. So
that seems like an app for a dude that's just looking to be like, I don't want to say dominated, but like looking for a woman to take charge.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
and I love when she dominates me.
Yeah, I've met your fiance on several occasions, and she definitely wears the pants in that relationship.
That is not true. She's not.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I did pass sticks with flying colors, apparently.
Hey, technically, I met you guys online.
You did, yeah.
That's true. I met Matt online.
Soon it's going to be weird to
been a
not have
relationship.
met online.
I'm right. Max, I met him the same way that Step Brothers. He was wearing a band t-shirt for a band that I like. And I said, "Oh, you like that band?" He goes, "Yep." I said, "Did we just become best friends?" "Yep." And it was magic ever since.
Boy.
But
yeah, that's true. Not so many dick pics, right, Aaron?
Well, she apparently still got a plethora of them over her years. So
Matt doesn't like the conversation of Aaron and dick pics.
Oh, it doesn't bother me.
I thought we had a whole conversation how you didn't like it.
No, I don't care. My end of that was don't send your real dick. That's basically what it comes down to.
No, if you have a choice, send Brad Pitt stick.
No, well, I mean, you find a random one on Google, so that way, you know, whenever.
I didn't know you were black.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on, you got to be a little bit modest here, and
you got to match the skin tone.
Yeah. You can do the McMurray measurement in 5.58 inches.
I just want to start sending micro penis dick pics out to people and seeing how they react. Be like, you like what you see.
Fucking heart, man. I was in a relationship with someone online. I catfished myself. But I don't know, man. It was a crazy documentary. I heard about I watched the Pat McAfee show during the day while I'm working, listened to it online, and they were talking about it, and I was like, oh, and I didn't know what it was on, and I was just scrolling through stuff on Netflix on Wednesday night after watching AEW, and it was there, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna watch this. And yeah, it was interesting to hear. Like, I felt for the dude.
Yeah. I heard about it on Holmberg's Morning Sickness. They were talking about it because I usually send Max's car and he doesn't have a freaking Bluetooth in it.
Stick boy, I usually send Nightwing pictures. That's what Richard Grayson pictures. But
there's no way Pat doesn't at least microdose cocaine. Oh man,
Pat talks like I chat. He might, dude. He always talks about taking vitamins and hitting the vape pen. So, you know, who to each his own, man. He's a character, though.
Yeah, Joe Rogan's even pushing pills, dude.
Yeah,
like every other video on TikTok is him talking about like this brain pill or something. But all right.
Joe says you think an NFL prospect could crush plenty of strange on campus,
right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and he's a fish out of water because he's a Mormon kid going to a Catholic college, so it's a total culture shock for him. Plus, he's Polynesian, so it's just like a total and complete culture shock.
Yeah, Polynesian in the Catholic like epicenter of the country.
Yeah,
you know, Notre Dame is probably just like Catholic hub number 2 outside of like Rome, right? Wouldn't you say like Notre Dame is like that place? Like
Plenty of Strange should be a new dating site, right? But Sticks as conflict of interest. Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just crazy. You got to remember this happened. What 2013?
Yeah, 12.
No, 12. Yeah. So it was a different. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's that long ago, but it is, and it was a different time where like I said, he did his due diligence. They friend requested a bunch of his friends too. He talked to a bunch of his own cousin, and he's like, "Yeah, I've talked to her." Not knowing that was only online. And then he even had conversations with another guy she was in an online relationship with. So he did like his due diligence and tried to like check at every step of the way when he felt like something wasn't right, but he still got smashed with it. So
how is that not like fraud? How is that not a prosecutable offense?
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Well, I mean, that person, I don't think that person's ever had charges put on.
It's identity theft, essentially. It is identity theft because you're pretending to be somebody else and you're using this girl's information to do it. But
catfishing should be a prosecutable offense, in my opinion. But I mean, they made that whole MTV show on it. I don't know any of those people that have been prosecuted. And maybe it's only if money is exchanged.
Well, and as entertaining as that show is, it glorified catfishing because now people just do it to try to get on TV.
Yeah.
You
know what really bummed me out about that show is so each one of those cases that they take on that show, the producers and stuff have already solved it.
Yeah.
And then they have Max and what's his name? It's not Neo.
Neve.
They have Max and Neve go and like basically resolve the case after the producers have already solved it.
Yeah.
So it's really not that authentic,
Well, I mean, it's MTV. What on MTV is really that authentic?
Jackass.
Well, okay.
But Jackass may be the most authentic piece of media ever released, I would say. No?
I have a buddy who I won't name on here, but he's a dude, and he catfished other dudes on League of Legends and pretended to be a girl to get thousands of dollars in in-game stuff out of them.
Oh wow!
So
that's genius.
But Your mom says, I worked with a chick back in the day that would catfish dudes in her free time. She would take her false teeth out when she met them at the airport and laugh when they freaked out. I miss her. LOL. But
That's hilarious.
God, there's a show that I was watching. God, what show was that?
There was a dude
There
on
was a
that
show-
90 Day Fiance show who had that girlfriend in the Ukraine, and they
Mhm.
chatted on a pay chat site for like a decade. And he'd even go to the Ukraine, and she'd always have an excuse not to meet him. But like literally after he's like flown there and stuff. I don't know if you ever saw that one. That one was bonkers.
Isn't there like a site where you can actually like buy a Ukrainian wife? Or like Russian mail order
Russian
brides?
mail order brides, yeah.
Sure.
That's a real thing, right? So why would you go
Yep.
through decades?
Yeah, Cheaters was the best reality show. It's the first one
Yes,
to do
it
it actually got
was.
stabbed.
Did someone get stabbed on that?
The host gets stabbed. There's an episode where the host gets
Joey
stabbed on
Greco.
a boat. Yeah. Dude, he
Really?
literally gets stabbed on a boat. Yeah.
There's a TikTok guy that he's like a private investigator. All he does is like investigate infidelity, and his TikTok videos are fascinating. Where it's kind of like it reminded me of Cheaters. I didn't know that guy got stabbed though. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I bet you could probably find it on YouTube.
You know who I'm surprised never got attacked is the dude from To Catch a Predator.
Well, he's kind of went into obscurity now where he's chasing down YouTube influencers and shit now. So
is
content
he?
creators. So yeah. Chris God, what the fuck is his name?
Chris Evans.
No, it's not Evans.
I almost had you for a second.
I can't think of his last name now. It's
Chris Hemsworth.
no
Chris Hansen.
Hansen, thank you, Ish. Jesus Christ.
Chris Pratt. That's it.
Why don't you go ahead and have a seat? Have a seat right here. Why are you here to meet this 12-year-old girl? I didn't know she was 12. I have your messages right here. You said I'm about to cover you with glue from my cum gun.
Someone got rappered. Is Hartman
Is that when you're
trying to say
is that
someone
when you're
got
raped by a rap? You're raped by a rapper.
plenty of available women at the assisted living complex. Well, I mean, hey, if you watch the tax show over on Renovision on Wednesday night, you found out that Corbin seems to be quite the cougar bait. So them older ladies like Corbin. So
Really? Good for him. He has a
Yeah.
niche.
why do you have
Niche.
pizza, condoms, and wine coolers? But all right, what do you say we get this show on the road and we hop in to a little bit of geek news?
I love it.
Yes.
Fucking love it.
And on the docket tonight for geek news, first up, I had to do it because it's Turtles related.
Uh-oh.
Oh, indeed.
I'm going to go off on a tangent.
Nah, I don't think so. TMNT co-creator Kevin Eastman explains why the first Turtles film will always be the best. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles co-creator Kevin Eastman explains that the 1990 live-action movie will always be the best TMNT film adaptation. In an interview with CBR, Eastman was asked why he thought 90s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had become such a beloved classic film franchise. He said the success of what the directors and writers did, and Jim Henson's creative shop, who brought it to life, the driving force. Really read and read and loved the original black and white comics, and the director completely understood the animated version of the Turtles. The TMNT co-creator explained he came up with that perfect blend of both worlds, adapting both visions so that you had a movie that has since never been replicated properly, which is unfortunate. He came up with that perfect balance of a story written with heart and soul and wasn't insulting to the adults that had to sit through it. The original comic book fans, the original black and white comic book fans who were old fans, so they didn't really embrace the kids' version of the Turtles. So when you watch that movie, you could see your turtles, if you will, and the kids could see the antics and the humor and all the stuff from the cartoon series.
He is absolutely 100% right.
Mm-hmm.
100%. And probably the second best movie that did that was the one that followed this.
Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah. And then everything else since then has been absolute shit.
I like that, Corey Feldman went from playing Donatello in the first one to being like, I'm too big for this, and leaving in the second one, and then coming back in the third because he realized that he has no career anymore. Nobody cared about him anymore.
And the third one sucks ass. Max loves it though.
It's a guilty pleasure. I can watch it.
The third one could have been so awesome. They dropped the ball on an awesome idea.
I hated that they changed the suits. Like they looked like leaner, like more teenagery.
They added more like freckles to him, like the black spots, I want to say. But
this was perfect though. This iteration right here.
Yes. Joe's Doolin said he got too old for MJ, for Michael Jackson. So he had to
I would say yeah, right. He lost his sugar daddy. My only beef with the second one is, what is it? Raja and Tojar or whatever.
Toka and Razor.
Yeah, that should have been Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yeah, I agree.
But apparently, like it was supposed to be Bebop and Rocksteady, but they had to change it for some reason. I don't remember what I read. It was years ago, but something about the studio wouldn't let them do it or something. I don't know what it was, but it should have been Bebop and Rocksteady.
Your mom says they should have sent Vanilla Ice to feudal Japan.
That would have been badass.
Hartman says they couldn't legally.
Yeah, it was some legality or something like that, but I don't know. That's my only beef with.
I mean, I like Toka and Razor for what they are,
but just knowing that they were a cheap placement for Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ish, did you know that Kevin Nash, the wrestler Kevin Nash, is Super Shredder?
I did not.
Yeah. Big Daddy Diesel himself is
He's in the costume, huh?
Yep, he is Super Shredder.
I knew that.
Your mom knew that, huh?
Yeah, she did.
We know who the smart one is in that relationship.
Hartman says when they ate donuts, it was
I love you, Ish.
Yeah,
Jose Canseco bat.
Tell me, you didn't pay for that. Cricket. You got to know what a crumpet is to understand cricket.
Love that movie. I need to watch that one with my boys. I don't think they've seen it.
Oh,
but he's absolutely right. Like that movie took the most ridiculous idea of mutant giant ninja turtles and put heart in that movie, and that hasn't been replicated ever since. Like it just in the second one, like it did a pretty decent job, but it didn't match the first one, that first iteration. But the first one feels like an actual like movie for grown-ups, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then they just got all silly, and they went too far into the silly with future ones.
You're being called out, Lance. You sexist pig.
I already know. I've tried to watch some of these things with my girls. No interest. Any comic book movies. I even tried to watch She-Hulk with the girls the other day. No interest. They do not want it.
Maybe
my daughter and
the Garbage Pail Kids movie with them.
Oh, that's one I forgot about too. That's an old one.
You should watch Mac and Me.
That movie
watch
is
Mac
insane.
and Me with him.
Every time I think, no, Mac and Me. You don't know Mac and Me?
Yeah, I do know Mac and Me. I thought you said McAfee.
No, Mac and Me, dude. That movie's great.
Yeah,
when that little kid goes off the cliff every time in the wheelchair, I would crack up laughing.
That's a long-running Paul Rudd and Conan O'Brien bit. Paul Rudd would always come in and talk about his new movie, and it'd be like, "Oh, well, I brought a clip for you guys to show," and it was always the same clip from Mac and Me for like 20 years. Paul Rudd did this to Conan O'Brien. It's hilarious.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Kevin Eastman did, like you said, nailed it on the head, because even true today as adults. Like this movie is the most rewatchable of the three. Like I'll watch the Secret of the Use and I was like, I don't remember it being this cringy. And there's times where I'm like, ooh, that's really cringy.
It's pretty bad.
But like the first one just is so good, man.
I really have high hopes for Seth Rogen's adaptation.
I mean, I do too, but I also it's animated, so I want another live action one with the Hanson puppets like done right. I don't want the what's his name all overgrown and ridiculous looking
Raphael?
turtles. No, I'm trying to think of the director that did them.
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay. Yeah, I don't want his
that guy.
overgrown, like ridiculous Goomba looking turtles. I want these ones, but
Donatello's a nerd, so he should have glasses. Fuck that.
or goggles.
Michelangelo's a kind of a surfer dude, so we're gonna put puka shell necklace on him. Fuck that. That guy sucks.
I mean, they did put a pair of Hawaiian shorts on him in the third movie.
Like, fucking Michelangelo, he has like a pair of like aviator sunglasses hanging from his neckline. I don't remember what they're hanging on. Aviator sunglasses that, mind you, he never wears and are way too small for his big fat head. Like, so it just doesn't make any fucking sense. But the most egregious thing, see, we're going off on a tangent. I'm going off on a tangent. The most egregious thing is the nostrils. Who thought that was a good idea?
Yeah.
And Megan Fox's April O'Neil was just really dumb.
Well, and to change the origin of the turtles too. It just
they were a science experiment.
Yeah.
And that she like grew up with them or something. Wasn't that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck that. Fuck Michael Bay, dude.
But Neil deGrasse Tyson is in the news this week because he stuck his nose where it didn't belong. Once again, trying to take on DC Comics and everyone's favorite Caped Crusader. Astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson took to Twitter to share his inconsistencies and flaws in the iconic bat symbol, saying, "Just occurred to me, the famous bat signal that summons Batman's crime-fighting skills works only on cloudy nights and never in the daytime. Seems to me a bat emoji sent to Bruce Wayne's smartphone or even an old-fashioned beeper would improve on this." Don't you know that he has a secret identity? You, the reader, know he's Bruce Wayne, but the people in that world don't know he's Bruce Wayne. That defeats the purpose of having a secret identity if he's going to be like, oh, yeah, here's my cell phone number.
Yeah, here's my number.
Shoot me a text.
Shoot me a text or
Let's
shoot me an
do
emoji.
Lunch.
Yeah, that's the just keeping it unknown of it all by shooting a single beam of light in the air with a bat symbol, and he shows up.
But Adam West did have a red phone.
Yeah, that's fine, but
that was a landline. That's a lot easier to trace.
But that was only to Commissioner Gordon, and he didn't know where the other end was.
Didn't the mayor have one too?
Yeah, maybe.
I thought the mayor had one. But that's
so what if
that
Batman
was a landline.
He calls Verizon in his Batman voice, and he tries to convince them.
It's like, I'd like to
open an account, but just as Batman, no address.
Yeah, I'd like to sign a 2-year contract.
Yeah, that way I can get alerts, crime alerts.
Do you have the new iPhone in stock? This is Batman.
Well, but it just goes to show too that he doesn't understand why Batman is at night. He fights crime at night. So why would he need a bat symbol during the day? Like, he's not it.
Yeah, he ain't fighting crime during the day.
Right.
Yeah, he's the Dark
Knight. He's a bat. He's nocturnal.
Yeah.
Bats are nocturnal. They do not
exist during the day. He's billionaire playboy Bruce Wayne, who's out there fighting that front. And at night he's busting skulls.
Except if he's Robert Pattinson.
But
because there's really no Bruce Wayne there.
Leave the daytime crime fighting to Superman. We'll just do a shift change at night.
Yeah.
Batman sleeps in the day. Clark Kent sleeps at night.
They just punch in the time clock in the Hall of Justice. Oh, and it's like a rotation. Oh, you're covering Gotham this week there, Green Arrow, and I got next week Green Lantern, and You know.
Yeah, they post their schedule on Mondays. The manager posts it.
Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, the streets are patrolled by Martian Manhunter, and then the Flash
said, "Hey, I couldn't work on Monday. I was going to the Justice League Super Friends Hall or Hall of Justice. That's what it's called."
Yeah, I went to go see the Wonder Twins 2-person play. Can't be there. But
I think Batman should just fight crime through social media.
Right?
He's
just
Twitter. Just
there's
tweet.
Enough of it.
Don't do
he's
that.
a keyboard warrior now.
Yes.
No, not even social justice. He's just a keyboard warrior. Batman fights crime behind the keyboard.
He types out vengeance.
I was watching Fox News today and I was triggered.
And then tells you about what he does to your mom while you play Call of Duty. But
oh man,
just stay in your lane, Neil deGrasse Tyson. We don't go into astrophysics and tell you how things work, and you don't need to sit there. I think you have bigger problems to solve, making sure that a supposed meteor doesn't crash into the planet in 7 years instead of worrying about Batman's bat signal.
Now, if Elon Musk came out and said this, will we all listen?
No, I would call him an idiot for it too.
If Elon Musk said, "I have developed a battery that could keep the bat signal running all day and power all of Gotham,"
yeah,
we'd be like, "What? Elon, tell us more. Please, Mr. Musk, may I have another?"
Joe's Doolin says, anytime headline reads "insert celebrity took to Twitter," you know it's a shit show. Just stay in your lane, man. But
what's next?
Moving on, we got
Corey
Feldman news as he was asked about a Goonies possible remake. He said, "Let's hope not. Those remakes, they ruin everything. Feldman believes a true follow-up to the Goonies should be less like 2016's Ghostbusters reboot and more like this year's worldwide smash hit sequel, Top Gun Maverick." You mean a sequel? You don't want to make a remake because that's where they did it with the Ghostbusters, with the girls. No, Feldman continued. You want it to be like Top Gun sequel, right? They did it right with Top Gun. So,
Top Gun was a great movie, but I get really annoyed when people overlooked how awesome Ghostbusters Afterlife was. Yeah. That was the first one that did it right, I would say.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not getting the worldwide.
Well, because of when it came out, I think that's more due to when it came out.
Well, and Ghostbusters has a different fan base than I feel like Ghostbusters doesn't cross all genre lines like Top Gun does.
Yeah, maybe.
So
Top Gun, it's really interesting how well Top Gun did when it deals with mostly patriotic themes, and those movies for a long time for the last couple of years have not done as well. Top Gun has very patriotic, pro-military type themes in it, and it did so well. But
maybe people were just starving for something like that because they've been getting the complete opposite.
Well, but there's stuff that comes out that people Terminal List, for instance, just get shit on.
Eric Williamson says, so it doesn't cross the streams?
But Terminal List, which is very kind of a patriotic setting, people liked it, but it also got pretty eviscerated online for they thought it was praising these ideologies that a lot of people don't agree with. Does that make sense?
So something people didn't agree with made them upset.
Yeah.
Welcome to our world.
Top Gun has a lot of the same themes, but
welcome to Friday in 2022. I'm sure someone will be outraged about something in the next 5 minutes.
My kids watched Goonies maybe a month ago, and they loved it. And this is my boys and my girl. Well, my oldest, my two younger ones, they don't like anything unless it's a cartoon. But my three oldest kids loved it. I like that movie. I thought Uncharted was a blatant ripoff of the Goonies. They even find a ship in a cave underground.
I love the
Stranger Things.
Goonies. When I was a kid, I saw it so many times. And then I watched it a couple years ago, and that's one movie that I loved as a kid that I felt didn't really hold up for me. I didn't get the same joy, let's say, as I
How can
did
you not
revisiting
smile?
other.
How can you not smile when you see the Truffle Shuffle?
It's not. I think the Goonies is one of those movies that it hits different as an adult, because when you're watching as a kid, you see yourself in those kids. You want to have those adventures. Like, you've had those adventures a million times in your imagination. And then as an adult, when the shoe's on the other foot, you kind of see it like the parents' perspective and everything. And, you're not watching it through that wide-eye mysticism that you have as a child.
Well, how
This
is
is
that
not necessarily like the best made movie.
Yeah.
how is that different than, like, why do we have that affinity then for like Stranger Things?
I think because Stranger Things reminds you of that. It's not like you. So Stranger Things is reminding you of that through nostalgia. It's not in your face. Like, you're not experiencing it from the same lens. You're experiencing Stranger Things as an adult, looking back on it
On your adolescence.
your adolescence and things that you did at that time. Whereas Goonies, most of the kids today, or most of the adults today, saw Goonies as kids, so you were watching it through the spectacle of movie magic and your imagination of having those same type of Goonies adventures. It's just it hits different.
I suppose. When I was watching Stranger Things, though, I got like especially the first season, I was like, oh, this is like a more adult
Sean
version
Astin
of the
got
Goonies.
fat and Chunk got skinny.
Yeah. I would like
Corey
to see
Feldman got crazy.
I would like to see a sequel. He just was here in Phoenix the other day.
Corey Feldman?
Yeah, he played a show at the Marquee.
Oh, I bet you all of 2 people went.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know he was at the
Angels.
Marquee. I saw it on Twitter.
I don't think it needs I don't know. How are you gonna do a sequel? Like, you're gonna do it about their kids? Like, it just
Yeah, it would have to be like next generation.
Yeah, you're gonna have the same adventures as adults, where they're gonna go looking for One-Eyed Willie's secret treasure part 2. Like, Sean Astin's character is gonna get a secret letter in the mail that says there was another treasure. Love, One-Eyed Willie.
I don't know, man. Or I don't know. I mean, they've been trying to make a sequel for years. There was supposed to be a TV show coming out, and the Disney acquisition of Fox kind of squashed that. Like, they were already in like pre-production and stuff. That was a good joke I made.
They can make a sequel. I don't really care about the Goonies, but I can see them making a sequel and making it work.
There's gonna be something that's gonna.
You'd have to appeal to a new generation, and then the parents will take the kids because the parents will want the nostalgia, and then the kids will get some adventure story.
There's gonna be something that's gonna try to read or like duplicate this Top Gun success that we've seen.
Well, I don't know about that. I remember when I saw the Goonies, it appealed to my Indiana Jones fandom.
Goonies 2, the search.
So I'd seen like Raiders and Temple, and I love those movies so much that Goonies felt like, what if we were kids and we got into an Indiana Jones type situation? So it almost feels like the ultimate fan film for Indiana Jones fans, and even even has Short Round in it.
I just don't think with shows like Stranger Things out there right now, I don't think Goonies lives up, because like Stranger Things is like the modern day Goonies. It's like the ultimate Goonies trip. Like, how are you going to outdo Stranger Things with a Goonies movie? It just feels lost now.
Yeah, kind of like Stranger Things is taking that thunder.
No time for Goonies, Dr. Jones. Yeah, it does. It just feels like Stranger Things is the modern day Goonies, and you can't really. I feel like I begrudgingly agree with him that remaking Goonies today wouldn't work, but I think even making a sequel to it doesn't work.
If they just made one movie and not a series or anything.
Yeah, it's just a different.
Work. They just need to make it gritty. Like, if they, I don't know. I think it could work. I want it.
What studio is this? What platform would this be on? Let's say
this would be Disney. Disney owns this now.
Is it Disney? Okay.
because it was Fox, right? So now Disney owns it.
Yes, Joe. They should just let some movies be. That's why Back to the Future will never get remade as long as the original creator is alive.
Yeah, everybody involved with that movie said absolutely not. Even though they made an animated TV series, but that's okay.
Yeah. Hartman, they should do the Groanies. But Goonies can never say die, but they don't need to be remade. Coming in next, we finally got that long-awaited CW sale. The CW has officially been sold to Nexstar, marking the end of an era for network television. The Hollywood Reporter confirmed that the deal between the network's co-owners Warner Brothers TV and CBS Studios has been made with a Texas-based media conglomerate. According to the agreement, 75% of the network stake will go to Nexstar, while the original partner companies, Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount, will retain 12.5% each. Original shows are still being produced on the CW, notably the upcoming Supernatural and Walker prequels, the Winchesters and Walker. Independence, the network CEO, will retain his current position.
That Winchester's trailer dropped. It looks fucking awesome.
I figured you would be all about that.
Yep. Trying to see Nexstar, like, don't they have other channels?
I don't know who else
or networks
they're with, but
they own WGN.
Okay.
Which I didn't know was still a thing. Rewind TV and Antenna TV, which those are two things I never even heard of.
Yeah.
So this is their first foray into getting something with like name recognition on it.
We'll see how they change it going forward. But that was why they were selling off and ending a bunch of shows. Joe's Dylan said Supernatural was the best thing the CW ever did.
I like Smallville.
Nexstar tricks old people into thinking they can sing.
Well, you got to remember. Well, I guess it was when it was the WB. But they had Buffy, Smallville, Supernatural. And they have some other good ones too, or was that it? Is that like their 3 claim to fame?
Well, I mean, now they've had Arrow, Riverdale, and All American, and Charm. Was Charm? Charm was TNT, wasn't it?
No, reruns were on TNT. TNT.
Roswell, Roswell.
Yeah, I like the new Roswell, but I like the original too.
They had all kinds of shows. I remember in the early 2000s that were pretty popular that I can't think of the names of right now. I know that there was some show where it was like the dude grew up to be the president, but he was telling a story about when he was a kid and his brother and all kinds of stuff. And they had One Tree Hill was on CW. So they had a lot of good. Or wasn't Dawson's Creek CW too?
I want to say that was before it was CW. Before, because remember, CW.
It was something else before CW, but
it was WB. But then Paramount.
The Jamie Foxx show, Mr. Cooper, Wayans Bros.
I want to say all that was Warner Brothers.
Yeah, Joe's saying it was WB.
Yeah, and then if you remember, out here in Arizona, it was called UPN. You remember UPN? It was like Channel 45 or something. Mm-hmm. Paramount owned UPN, and then Paramount
Star Trek Voyager was on UPN.
Yeah, they brought all their stuff over to the CW, and it created like a joint channel between the two. But they've had some duds though too. Apparently, Everybody Hates Chris was CW. That was a big one.
Yeah.
I've never watched any of these
Vampire
shows
Diaries
mentioned. I'll just throw that in there.
You never watched Buffy?
No.
They had The 100, iZombie, Jane the Virgin.
Oh, Reaper. Reaper was fucking awesome. Did you guys watch Reaper?
No.
even heard of it.
Reaper. It was only 2 seasons, but it's Tyler Labine. Dude, that show was fucking awesome. I probably watched that show in completion at least 3 or 4 times.
Seventh Heaven.
Yeah, that was huge. Seventh Heaven was a big one.
Gilmore Girls, Gossip Girl.
The 100 was huge.
Nikita, One Tree Hill, Privileged, Reaper.
Jane the Virgin.
Yeah, I already said that one.
Oh, did you? Crazy Ex-Girlfriend was like Emmy nominated.
Veronica Mars. Yeah.
Veronica Mars was big. I mean, they even came back and did like a whole nother season and a movie, like 10 years after it ended.
So basically, the CW was a more entertaining version of the Lifetime network, from the sounds of it.
Yeah, CW never had the viewership that any of like the big, like CBS, Fox, NBC, and ABC had. Like it was dwarfed in comparison. But it didn't really go after those large audiences either. Like it went for like,
well,
Matt
if they went for a female audience, that's the largest TV audience there is.
It wasn't a female audience, so they went for more adolescent audience. So
well,
like
those shows sound pretty female oriented.
I don't know.
For females.
Their big
I know
thing
you
is
didn't,
like teenagers.
You didn't want to show up to school the next day if you missed a new episode of Dawson's Creek. Can talk about the Dawson.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer was, everybody talked about that when I was like in 7th grade. That was huge.
They had Sister apparently.
No, Sister was on TGIF on ABC.
And they had Brotherly Love with the Lawrence brothers.
Sister played with Boy Meets World. I remember when I was a kid on Fridays.
On ABC, yeah, but man, I'm looking at it says WB CW shows, so I mean maybe it's syndication reruns. Like Baby Blues was a good show. That was an animated comedy. Then the Oblongs, that's another good one. Everwood.
I liked Everwood, but that was mostly because of what's her face was in it.
Felicity
was a big one. Dawson's Creek is probably one of the biggest ones they've ever had.
Probably, yeah.
Dawson's Creek was huge, but Buffy was huge. I mean, it spawned a spinoff, and Supernatural was. I mean, Supernatural.
Blossom was NBC, Hartman.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff you guys are thinking of is because CW had the reruns. Sister, Smart Guy, Blossom. A lot of that. Whose Line Is It Anyway? A lot of that was from ABC. Well, no, it wasn't. NBC.
Whose Line Is It Anyway? It wasn't a rerun. It was a revival.
They did have the reboot with Aisha Tyler, but they also
did show reruns with the Drew Carey one.
Yeah, for many years they had reruns of the Drew Carey one before the Aisha Tyler one ever came out.
But moving on here, sticking with the CW. Per Variety, actor Jordan Eslis, who portrayed Jonathan Kent in Superman and Lois' first 2 seasons, had opted to step away from the DC television series. As such, the role will be recast for season 3, which is expected to premiere on the CW in 2023. He walked away for personal reasons. When the story first came out, they had said that he was like showing up late to set, so they just gave him Das Boot. But apparently he's choosing to leave due to personal reasons that he's not disclosing at this time. And it's not related to or a result of workplace related issues. So
I liked him, but I'm glad if somebody had to leave, it's him and not the brother that's on the show. I really like the brother. Neither of you have watched this, right?
I watched the pilot episode and that's it.
It's a good show, man. Like it's like Max always goes on and on about how much he loves Man of Steel. This to me feels like a more true adaptation of Superman. At least, I don't know. It feels more true to the character than probably anything else I've ever seen, besides maybe the Christopher Reeves movies.
All I know is I hate Superman, and so I gave my time to Superman in Smallville, and I'm good. I don't need
Did
any
you say
more
you
Superman
hate
shows.
Superman? Just
I did say I hate Superman.
Oh boy,
I like
Okay,
Superman.
I will ignore that. Lance, to your point though, I haven't seen the show, but at the shop, Bill Ponsetti, old school DC fan, he agrees with you and feels that this is a really good portrayal of Superman. And
Yes.
so when he says that holds a lot of weight. So it's, he's a fan of the
You
show.
should check it out, Ish. It's on HBO Max. I don't know if you have it.
I have so many shows to check out. It'll just be added to a list, a huge giant queue of shows I'll probably will never get to.
What's nice about this one, it's only 2 seasons, and I think the seasons are pretty short, if I'm not mistaken. I think there's only maybe like 30 episodes, maybe 20 episodes of this show. So it's not a huge undertaking.
Yeah.
Hey, Ish. I hate Superman.
I don't even have a retort for that.
I hate
like
Superman.
Superman. I like Superman, but I kind of hold him in the same regard as like Captain Marvel, and I hate Captain Marvel, but mainly because Superman actually has like a weakness, and in the
It's
movie,
the same. I mean, it's
How
the
many
same old-
subscribers did we just lose with that statement? You
I
guys
think we
spent 5
gained.
minutes talking about Dawson's Creek, and then you
I think we
say, I
gained.
hate Superman. And it's like, what fucking podcast did I stumble into here?
we
Your
gained.
mom is saying it's boring.
We literally gained one because I said I hate.
You gained
Superman.
a CW viewer who's like, ooh, I love Dawson's Creek.
I don't know. I like the new show a lot. They get into Bizarro on the second season.
See,
I really enjoyed that.
Even your mom says Superman is pretty boring. Look, this amazing, massive powerhouse of a man who has the power to have all the powers. His only weakness is a goddamn glowing green rock that it's supposed to be, that's from his home world of Krypton that got blown up. That's supposed to be so hard to get, but yet every asshole and their brother can get some to take him out. It just, I don't know.
There's 31 episodes of Superman and Lois ish. It's not as bad as other TV shows.
So you hate Superman because there's just way too much kryptonite on Earth?
I hate Superman because he's just a joke of a character. Like, I don't know.
You got to remember when he was made, though.
Oh, I know when he was made. I get it, but
yeah,
like even to this day, he still is this like Boy Scout that can do no wrong. That I don't know. I don't like. He's OP, man. He's OP, but not OP at the same time because he can get shit on by a glowing green rock.
At least he has a weakness. Captain Marvel, nothing's her weakness except her arrogance.
Or, Rogue, another mutant taking her out. But
yeah. I don't know. I like this show. It's one of the shows I look forward to, watching. My wife likes this show, which is crazy because she doesn't watch any superhero properties really, except for the ones that I drag her along to the movie theater with. And she actually likes this one.
Exactly, your mom. Superman is
wrong
just so
with some
blah.
Plain bread toast.
Like plain wheat bread. Like white rice with nothing on it. Like just
how is that
plain
different than Captain
oatmeal.
America though?
Plain oatmeal, man.
How is that different
Superman
than
is
Steve Rogers?
healthy for you. It's good for you.
No.
Eat your vegetables.
Because Captain America at least stood up against the system when he saw that he needed to. Like that he didn't agree with the whole Superhero Registration Act, and he at least fought against the system. He literally fought for what he felt was right and just, not just going along with the system.
Well, in Man of Steel, at the end, he kind of declares himself like tyrant of the earth when he meets the military, and he goes, "It's all on my terms from now on." So it's basically you just became overlord.
He's got his best friend and butt buddy Jimmy Olsen, and nobody knows that you put on some glasses and you're fooled into not knowing that Clark Kent is Superman, and Lois Lane doesn't even know until he reveals it to her, and it's just ridiculous, dude. The whole concept is just ridiculous.
All I know is that Red Sun may be one of the best books I've ever read. I love that book. I'm not a huge comic reader, and I've read that book at least 3 times. I love that book. And then they came out with the animated movie, and it sucked.
Yes, your mom, Jimmy Olsen is
J.W.
useless.
Pepper.
What's the next headline?
But next up, during a fan expo,
over Superman.
Yep. During a fan expo in Boston, panel Ewan McGregor opened up about the series' long development in the Obi-Wan series and how it evolved from a movie into a streaming series. He says it was going to be a story about me and Luke, McGregor said when asked about the development of the story. It was always going to be that. And that was the one genius moment where everyone went, wait a minute, and then changed it.
So it was going to be a cool movie, and instead they made a lame series.
I like the series, man. Compared to Boba Fett, it was a masterpiece.
Ugh, both were bad. That's what I felt while watching this. I was like, this should have been a movie. And now that a movie with Luke, the central hero of the story.
Yeah, but even then it would still change A New Hope when she's asked about Ben Kenobi and he's like, oh, the dude who wanders the desert?
That's true.
So,
I don't know. I liked it, but I may be in the minority.
Should have just been a movie about Obi-Wan. How about that? No kids.
I think that would have been better, yes. I liked it for what it was, Lance, but like there was issues I had with the continuity with it. They sewn up at the end of it, but
see, I'm not a Star Wars fan, so I don't care. Like for the sheer entertainment value, I thought it was entertaining. I don't care about the plot holes and stuff like that. Like I'm too dumb to even like notice them until we were on this show and you guys were pointing them out.
It would have been a better movie if it was just like Vader and the Empire hunting him and him being on the run and like him having to go undercover in his spot constantly getting blown up and like a chess game of a movie versus what it became versus like gotta
as
save
your mom puts it, running around with a punchable little girl.
Yes.
I love that little girl.
I wanted to fucking football punt her into another stadium.
I loved her.
Just pick her up and kick her right out of the series.
I thought she was awesome.
But
they should have made an Obi-Wan finally gets laid movie.
Yeah.
We should have saved that comment for when we get into our She-Hulk discussion.
Right.
That would have been a nice segue.
Nice segue. Moving on, sticking in the Star Wars universe, legendary actor and Emmy winner Christopher Lloyd appears to have been broken his silence about his Star Wars debut and the Mandalorian Season 3 while attending a Q&A panel at Fanboy Expo in Louisville. The star's best known as Doc Emmett Brown in the Back to the Future trilogy was asked by the moderator about his involvement in the further adventures of Din Djarin, I can't say that, Pedro Pascal, and Grogu.
Wait, you skipped the Star Trek part.
I did it on purpose.
I just realized that. You paused. You skipped absolutely. All right, continue. I'm annoyed now. Superman, Star
Trek, The Search for Spock.
All over me.
His response was just as mysterious as his undisclosed character. He said, we're all sworn to secrecy. I don't know. So I hope he appears as Doc Brown in Star Wars. And he's just like, Great Scott, and gets in the time machine and flies off again. But yeah, I skipped over the Star Trek one on purpose because I feel like speaking the name of Star Trek while in a story about Star Wars is just blasphemy.
Well, Christopher Lloyd has said his favorite role was playing Krug the Klingon in Star Trek 3, and he's magnificent in it.
I love Christopher Lloyd.
But
he is like one of the best. Did you guys watch Nobody with him and Bob Odenkirk?
No.
He's like one of the best parts of that movie. He's like 80 years old with a shotgun just blowing people's heads off. It's fucking awesome.
Reverend Jim in Taxi. You've seen the show Taxi. He was amazing as Reverend Jim.
My Favorite Martian. I showed that one to the kids the other day because Disney Plus brings out all these like cheesy 90s live action movies that we watched as kids. My kids loved that movie.
Heavyweights. Heavyweights is the best Disney movie.
He was the villain in Dennis the Menace too.
Was he?
The homeless dude, yeah.
With Walter Matthau?
Yeah.
Like the movie Dennis the Menace?
Yeah.
He was in that? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I believe you. I think we should have a drinking game of how many times we can piss Ish off. Superman sucks, skipping over Star Trek. He's the only person on planet Earth.
Just mention Obi-Wan. All I have to do is mention Obi-Wan every couple minutes and we'll be fucking wasted.
Or we'll talk about how he is the one lone voice that's saying Prey sucked.
Coming up next, Mark Ruffalo, the man who, along with Tom Holland, just can't seem to keep a secret, has hinted that Avengers Secret Wars will be an explosive collision of the multiverse saga.
Conclusion.
Conclusion. Whatever. Collision. I like collision better. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly and at the premiere of She-Hulk Attorney at Law, Ruffalo was asked how Secret Wars would compare to 2019 Avengers Endgame. He stated, well, it's going to be hard to top Endgame, but if I know Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige, and if I know Marvel, it's going to be pretty amazing, the actor revealed. It'll be a big bang. We'll go out with a big bang. Ruffalo, who portrays Bruce Banner, the Hulk in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, also addressed rumors that a World War Hulk movie was in development, stating, anytime they want to do it, I'm here.
I would love a World War Hulk movie.
We basically already got it, though, in a lot of sense in Ragnarok. Like,
yeah, that's right.
I don't know. Do we need to revisit that? I don't know.
Maybe it's one of those things where they'll use it in name only, like Civil War.
Maybe.
Call it Civil War and then be completely different than what Civil War actually was.
Maybe. I don't know. Eric Williams says Ruffalo wants to keep those fat checks coming. Yep, he sure does.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how a World War Hulk movie would work.
Joe Dolan said, no more Professor Hulk, please.
All I know is they made the World War Hulk an animated movie, right? They had an animated one.
Yeah.
Is that the one that? And I love that. It's like the one good Marvel animated movie. And the best part of that is what's his name? He was in the last Thor movie. The slug looking thing.
Meek? Isn't it?
Yeah,
Meek?
Meek is like the best part of World War Hulk, and they completely ruined him in the MCU. Now it's like the slug thing when before he was like this like flying bug, if I remember correctly. He has one joke in Thor Love and Thunder where he's squeaking on the dry erase board.
Well, and he's in Avengers Endgame too with the giant like swords on his arm.
Yeah, but he's like kind of dead in it.
What, in Endgame?
Yeah.
No, he comes back during the final fight scene. He's got like the two blades on his arms.
Yeah, but he doesn't. Is he fighting?
Yeah.
I've seen that movie how many times and I have no idea what you're talking about.
He comes out of the portal at the end with everybody who is brought back.
For real?
Drax?
100%, man.
Don't tell me who you're talking about.
How have I never noticed that?
The like slug thing from Thor.
Huh.
He's in Thor Ragnarok, and then he's in.
He's like wearing some like suit,
like a little Bleaker Miss cameo type thing.
Yeah, he's got like blades on his arms.
I have never noticed that. He's like right behind Valkyrie.
Mm-hmm.
He
just goes to show you can watch that movie a million times and still catch something new.
I've watched that movie so many times that
apparently Hartman came out of the portal so easily, and it was so easily missed.
So I guess the
He
Russo
died
brothers
first orc.
have been putting it out there that they wouldn't mind coming back to the MCU and directing Secret Wars.
Yeah, but Feige has said that they're not going to do it. So I don't know if it's misdirection to keep things hush hush, or what. But I would not mind seeing the Russos direct it.
Want to get a text?
Ish probably did.
Sorry,
No, you're all good.
Ish got a text that said,
it's actually it's Kevin Feige. Let me check.
"Oh, okay. Breaking news here."
Misdirection. You're correct.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I'm glad for the clarification.
Well, we know Kang the Conqueror's going to be done by Dustin. From Shang-Chi?
It's Bill telling you to get the hell off the show
Dustin
since you were
Cretton something.
Bill's texting you like, get the hell off that podcast with the guy who hates Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Secret Wars, man. Secret Wars 2 is what solidified my lifelong relationship with comic books. That just came out at the perfect time. And that story with the Beyonder, and then especially the ending with what Molecule Man does to the Beyonder at the ending. As a kid, I was just like, whoa, it just blew my mind. And for me, forever, Secret Wars is on a pedestal.
Well, it's because of the first Secret Wars.
Correct. Yeah, first Secret Wars was
That,
huge.
like,
But I bought Secret Wars 2 off the rack as a kid. Like,
yeah,
in my
like
comic book prime as a kid. And so that was like, that hit hard. And especially that was like the first crossover where I was like, wait a minute, this other comic also has Secret Wars story. Wait, Beyonder's showing up in this comic too. And that's what really cemented my almost my comic book origin story.
Secret Wars though is that it was like like you said, the first crossover event, but that's largely the book that's credited with like saving Marvel Comics too.
Yeah,
they were going down a dark road when the Secret Wars came out, and there's a lot of speculation that they ripped it off and stole it from DC. That they originally stole the idea for a Crisis from DC and put it out quicker in Secret Wars than DC could. Because is the president of DC at the time just joined Marvel? Came over to Marvel.
Yeah, that's possible.
Rework it. So, because it came out and then a few months later, Crisis on Infinite Earths came out. So, but
Marvel has a history of doing that. Like they had Captain Marvel, then
Marvel. DC too.
Marvel, and then
forth. They always
it really solidified Doctor Doom too.
Oh, absolutely.
So trying to steal Galactus's powers, and Doctor Doom.
That was like some peak Doctor Doom stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then Spidey getting the black suit. Like that's the event, the Marvel event to end all Marvel events. Still to this day.
I think it's going to be huge. I don't know how they top it after this.
But I think they do it in name only. I don't really think
who knows what the story's going to
be.
Is it even going to involve Spidey's black suit? Is it going to involve Doctor Doom? Is it going to have the Beyonder?
I think
for me, if it doesn't have the Beyonder, it's not Secret Wars. That it's in name only.
I think it will. I think it's going to be the culmination of Tom Holland getting the black suit, and that's going to be the payoff from the Venom scene at the end of No Way Home. And I think it's going to cap the multiverse stuff. So it'll be, is it though? Because I can't remember. I think
Kang comes out before this.
Yeah, but is Kang the end of the multiverse saga, or is Secret Wars? I think Secret Wars
is the end. Well, Secret Wars is the end
of multiverse saga
6.
Through several phases now.
Well, it's everything after Endgame is considered multiverse saga.
Yeah, so the first 3 phases was the Infinity Saga. This next 3 phases is the multiverse saga. This caps off essentially Kang
so that would end phase 6.
Yes. Kang the Conqueror is like Infinity War, and then Secret Wars is like Endgame. So I think, I don't know. Possibly, I don't know if it even sets up the next phase.
I mean, it would be cool if you got they brought a bunch of the villains via the multiverse. Like you got to see the multiversal Doc Ock again, and you get to see like a lot of the different villains throughout the multiverse brought in to this movie to fight the heroes.
As long as it's not Morbius.
It'd be cool if it was villains from different universes brought to fight heroes from different universes in a battle for supremacy. But
well,
that'd be cool.
That's the story of Secret Wars. Yeah, Battle World.
Yeah. Well, it was the Earth's.
Is Beyonder a mutant?
No.
Yeah.
What is he?
He's just a
dude with superpowers.
No, I wouldn't say omnipotent.
Well, beyond, he was like, I think above Celestials even.
Yeah.
He's the Beyonder. It's beyond. It's beyond our comprehension.
I was just about to say that.
So, but Phase 6 is going to be kicked off by Fantastic Four, and then it's going to end with Secret Wars.
Mm-hmm.
He's a cosmic entity.
So Stick Boy says Secret Wars will set up nothing, but will bring back heroes and villains.
Do you think that they make Secret Wars if they didn't get the rights to the X-Men like they did?
Yes, I think you could still make Secret Wars because although the X-Men have a role in it, I don't think it's not as pivotal.
Do you think
to me it's not as pivotal as like Spider-Man in Civil War? Like, but that's just me. What do I know? I'm just some talking head on the internet.
Well, they ruined that whole Spider-Man storyline in Civil War. They tried to do it with Black Panther instead.
No, not really. They pulled it off, and they just waited till Spider-Man Homecoming to try and do it.
Or Far From Home?
No, Homecoming.
When he gets unmasked, it's at the end of Far From Home.
No, but Tony tries to get him to join and do all of that at the end of Homecoming when he offers him the Iron Spider suit. Because that's how he gets the Iron Spider suit in the comic, is when he joins Tony's side.
So, but his role in
they
Civil
tried
War
to set it up with that
small.
whole press conference where he's going to out himself at the end of Homecoming, because that's what it is. He's going to get the iron suit, and they set up the Homecoming to introduce the Spider-Man. So he was going to try and out him there. And they just went for it at the end of Far From Home with Mysterio.
The accidental outing.
So
do you think Secret Wars brings out some like past villains that have passed away? Like, could we get Killmonger and
well, I think that's where you're gonna get Mysterio. Ultron. You'll get Ultron back.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Ultron had a part in Secret Wars, so I think that's where you'll see Ultron again. Or Ultron. You'll see Ultron again. You'll see a lot of the past.
We'll all get Ultron together.
Yeah. You might get Red Skull.
Because that guy that they got from Walking Dead to do Red Skull,
sure, it's
a really good job.
The possibilities are infinite. Then, like, you could bring back Jeff Bridges as Obadiah Stane. Shit, Mickey Rourke as Whiplash. We can go all out.
That guy won't come back. Mickey Rourke basically said, "Fuck Marvel."
He's dying to come. See, when he says that, it means he's dying to come back because he's so butthurt that his role was cut out of Iron Man 2.
Look, Mickey Rourke will come back because he's not doing anything else. He needs to have that.
He needs that Disney money.
He needs to have that Robert Downey Jr.-esque career revival part 2, because he already tried to do it once, and it started to go with the wrestler, and then it just kind of fizzled out.
But Mickey Rourke is the most, like, what's the word I'm looking for? He gets hurt very easily.
He's butthurt.
Yes, he holds
grudges.
Grudges. That's the word. Yes, he holds grudges. Like, he's probably the worst actor that fashion in Hollywood, which is why he doesn't get a lot of roles, because he's pissed so many people off. And it's not like he's like the most amazing actor ever either, right? No, but so Warrior, it's easy to be like, oh, this guy's causing trouble. All right, we can find someone better. Yeah. Well, the one I want to see come back is Hammer. I felt like
Justin Hammer. Yes.
Yeah, I felt like he was grossly underused.
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell is amazing. Have you watched Choke with him?
Yes.
The Chuck Palahniuk
Yeah.
adaptation. Oh, dude, that movie is fucking awesome. Sam
That
Rockwell
movie's
is
bonkers. Yeah.
yeah. Have you read the book?
I have not.
So Chuck Palahniuk's my favorite author. That movie is probably the most true adaptation of a book I've ever seen. Like it's just fucking that movie's awesome. And he makes it. Sam Rockwell makes that movie awesome.
He's an amazing actor. He's very talented.
Yeah, but Justin Hammer was just like, we're gonna use you in this movie and then never use you again. Like nothing.
Well, he shows
ever
up in that one All Hail the King. The short about about Trevor Slattery getting busted out of prison by the Mandarin.
Yeah.
Which was Wenwu, turns out. So Sam Rockwell he gets to show up again in that, but you know, I don't know if you remember the scene.
Never touched again.
Where he found his like boyfriend, jail cellmate.
Mm-hmm.
That's on Disney Plus, isn't it? All those one shots, they put them on Disney Plus finally.
It is. Yeah, when Shang-Chi came out, they were really pushing that on like the main screen. Which
you
made
guys ever
sense because
watch-
that was a really good little tie-in in between Iron Man 3 and those movies.
Did you guys ever watch the Punisher one shot with Thomas Jane?
No.
Dude, it is the coolest version of Punisher I've ever seen in my life. He's like in a laundromat and he like just starts blowing people like it is fucking awesome. I don't know if it's on YouTube. I think it was just Thomas Jane did it. Like I don't think it's endorsed by anybody, but it's what he wanted his version of the Punisher to be.
It's a bootleg short.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking awesome. You guys have never seen it? Dude,
No, I wasn't aware it existed.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'll find the link later and maybe share it on the Facebook page or something.
I don't watch bootleg shorts.
Dude,
it's the
fucking
official
awesome.
release or nothing for me.
I only watch them if there's an acetate stapled to it.
Aaron,
Disney doesn't own that.
Aaron says we should make a drinking game about how many times
Yes.
Lance says it's his favorite or it's the best.
As long as we can do it. As long as we can do it for how many times Matt says he hates something.
I just hey man,
you get just as
everything.
defensive over that I do in the other thing.
I don't hate everything.
Let me see if I can share my screen here. No,
just to be clear, Matt loves Dawson Creek, hates Superman.
That's right.
If you're taking notes.
I don't think I said I love Dawson's Creek either.
You guys talked about it for like 5 minutes.
To be fair, we talked about Superman for 5 minutes.
Well, it's a geek show. Of course we talk about Superman.
Well, I mean, who doesn't love the Dawson, man? Who doesn't love Paisley?
This guy right here.
You've never seen this?
No.
It's fucking awesome, dude.
Oh, and I've probably never seen it because it's like the worst version of the Punisher. Next to Dolph Lundgren.
It's fucking awesome.
All right, well, this is great to audio listeners.
You can't hear it?
I can, but you can't see it, so it's kind of pointless to even. Oh, look, Ron Perlman.
The Almighty struck those savages down today.
It shows he'll act in anything.
Trying to go to the violent part.
We got a motherfucking problem up in here.
Okay, that's just garbage right there. Absolute garbage.
I think it's fucking awesome.
Listen, some dude's head doesn't spray blood like that when you get to the bottle.
Have you seen Punisher Warzone? It's worse than this.
That's terrible.
I thought it was
Jigsaw and Punisher Warzone is good.
Anyways, while season 1 of What If stuck to the key moments from the early phases of the MCU, tell its tale, season 2 will be able to tell even wider stories. Thank you. That's what my problem with the first What If season was. I didn't need to have a rehashing of the first 10 years of the MCU with just the most minute details changed.
Yeah. I also hate the animation style, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it either, but It's what I wanted from What If. I wanted these fantastic, otherworldly stories.
They got into it a little bit with the zombies thing.
The
And then
zombies were barely even touched on.
but it like told a story that wasn't really in the MCU like timeline, I guess you could say. Like it didn't
Well,
like
it will be now. They announced Marvel Zombies.
yeah, which I really hope is a different art form. But
God Mode Ultron, which I think was like the last 2 episodes. That was kind of badass.
yeah, the
What
Watcher
If
and
What If didn't suck.
yeah, I don't know, man. This show just they hyped it up so much, and then we watched it and we're like, really? This is what you were so excited to show us? It was just bad.
Yes, Eric Williams. What if Deadpool killed the
Yes.
Marvel Universe?
That's a good one.
Or what's the Wolverine story? Is it the best there is storyline where he's
What if Wolverine's claws were made of soft rubber?
I can't think of the name of the story. I want to say
dildos that come out of his hands.
like I'm thinking it's the best there is, but at what he does or something like that. But there's a storyline where like Wolverine gets taken over and hypnotized, and he starts like trying to kill the Avengers and the other heroes. God, I can't think of this. I think that's
The
the
Wolverine one.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, but Wolverine's being like mind controlled, and he's being set out to like try to kill Captain America and all the other heroes, and he's going against them and stuff. That'd be cool. But yeah, I like Eric's the what if Deadpool killed the Marvel Universe? That'd be cool. Just give us more stuff we haven't seen before, you know?
Give us some Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Ooh,
I'm looking at like because What If was an actual comic series, right? I'm looking at the issues that they had.
What if Miles Morales was Thor?
What if Gwen Stacy had lived?
We've already seen that play out.
What if Thor and the
What if
Avengers
Jane
fought the
Foster
god?
became Thor?
What if Phoenix had not died? What if Daredevil became an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.? What if Spider-Man's clone had lived? What if Wolverine had killed the Hulk? What else we got in here? What if Fantastic Four had not gained their superpowers? Well, this one sounds cool. What if the Thing and Beast continue to mutate? What if Thor battled Conan the Barbarian?
I don't know. Didn't they just kill him off this week too?
Who?
Conan?
What do you mean kill him off?
And isn't he in Savage Avengers right now?
I didn't read the newest issue. Is that
Oh.
a big giant spoiler alert?
Fucking spoiler alert then, I
Fucking
guess.
spoiler alert.
Well, didn't Marvel lose the licensing rights to that character?
They did, but I read the people who got the rights said that they were open to letting him continue to appear in Savage Avengers, like on loan. But
Spoiler alert,
that they wanted, any solo title starring Conan to go back to their publishing company.
Spoiler alert, he just got fucking waxed this week, apparently.
Damn.
So.
What if Vision had destroyed the Avengers?
Yeah, long story short, there's a lot of stories that could go with What If that doesn't need to
What
rehash.
if Matt didn't spoil Savage Avengers for me?
Whoops.
What if
I was wondering, it was an unusually like big seller for us this week, and I was like, oh, suddenly more people are interested in Savage Avengers. That explains it, though. Could be final appearance of Conan in a Marvel comic.
Yep.
What if Wolverine was Lord of the Vampires? That's weird.
Hartman, what if White Venom went racist?
What if Spider-Man had kept his 6 arms? What if Venom had possessed the Punisher? That's what I would like to see. Get this Venom storyline ramped up, and let's see Venom like travel through a bunch of different people.
Yeah, that's if they can use Venom.
Well, I mean, it looks like they can. I mean, Danny Trejo got him at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home. He was left in this universe.
Danny Trejo?
Yeah, what are you
Or not
talking
Danny
about?
Trejo. Danny
Danny
Rojas.
Rojas?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Did Machete and Marvel crossover?
Right?
Danny Rojas from Ted Lasso. Football is life.
That's funny that there's 2 Ted Lasso stars in the MCU now. Danny Rojas and Roy Kent.
Now we just need Jason Sudeikis and it'll be perfect.
Yeah. Who's he gonna play?
I don't know.
Mark Ruffalo.
Oh, he's going to play Mark Ruffalo?
At it again. Mark Ruffalo appears to spoil She-Hulk's MCU Avengers membership.
Didn't we all kind of know this was coming, though?
Yeah.
Aren't all these people like apparently going to join the Avengers?
The actress who plays She-Hulk joked that Ruffalo should give her character a year of being the MCU's primary Hulk, since he's had such a long run in the role. The actor agreed and then upped the ante. All right, you can have a year, Ruffalo joked. No, she's in now. There's not going to be another Avengers without her. That answer seemingly surprised the actress, who replied, "What?" to the suggestion that she'll be appearing in the next Avengers film as She-Hulk. That's what I'm hearing or being told, Ruffalo confirmed.
That doesn't make her a member of the Avengers by any means.
Who do you have left? So like Kang Dynasty is obviously going to feature. I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't feature it probably won't feature Wiccan and Speed, but it's probably going to feature She-Hulk. You're probably going to get Kate Bishop. You're probably going to get the new Miss Marvel. You're probably going to get Cassie Lang. You're going to get all these young Avengers that have made an appearance so far.
Squirrel Girl
in the new Avengers movies to make up that Avengers team.
Oh boy.
Who are going to be led by Falcon and Winter Soldier and Ant-Man. So
are we talking spoilers on She-Hulk?
We're going to when we get to it, yeah.
We're not okay.
Not yet.
A separate
not
segment.
Yet. Yeah.
Well, because like the media has already seen 9 episodes of She-Hulk, right? We've only seen 1. And so I read a review where he talks about something that happens in future episodes. So as you're watching the show and the story develops, I think technically what he says might appear to be a spoiler, because it's like, oh, all of a sudden she's a member of the Avengers maybe, whereas in the story, from what I've heard in the future episodes, she kind of goes in a different direction. A dark side direction.
Ooh. She becomes a Skrull.
All I know is in the 4th episode, there's supposed to be some big cameo.
Which is like every Marvel show seems to be like.
Well, we already know it's going to be Mephisto. That's obvious.
I think it's going to be the Thing.
Well, that's what has been rumored. I think the episode 4 is probably when Daredevil shows up.
Well, it's probably going to be something like a client she has to represent. And so from what I've heard, she's not representing heroes.
Interesting.
Well, yeah, you kind of get that feeling already when they have her representing Abomination.
I really hope that's not the case.
Which we haven't gotten to yet, so we're not sure how that plays out. But
I'm told that this cameo is not somebody that we've seen in the trailers, and we've seen Daredevil and Abomination both in the trailer.
And there's that long-standing rumor that the Thing, Ben Grimm, was going to be in the show, played by Jason Segel from How I Met Your Mother, or
I Love You, Man.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
The best buddy comedy of all time. I Love You, Man.
Your mom's got it right there. She-Hulk is Mephisto, played by Elliot Page.
That comment just transitioned the whole episode.
What?
Are they going to do this? I wonder if they'll do the storyline where she has to represent Star Fox after he sexually molests people.
What's his name? Harry Styles?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Pip the Troll. That's the cameo.
Yeah, there you go. Sticking to the Marvel Armor Wars, Don Cheadle, actor best known for his role as Colonel James Rhodes / Rhodey, War Machine in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, was asked by a Twitter user about the status of his Disney Plus series. With so much scarcity around it, Cheadle playfully hinted that fans will know more about what's coming very soon without sharing any details. Funny you should ask, Cheadle replied. I think it's because they're going to wait for... They're clearly, I think, going to wait for Black Panther Wakanda Forever to come out, get you introduced to Riri Williams. I think Cheadle will play a big part in the Ironheart series, and then Armor Wars will feature both of those characters. So I think they're waiting to introduce Riri before breaking out Armor Wars. Wouldn't it just be sick if Norman Osborn showed up in Armor Wars in the Patriot armor? Just the Iron Patriot armor that he has in the comic books.
Norman Osborn?
Mm-hmm. Be so dope. But
we're talking like Willem Dafoe?
Yeah. Or a new Norman Osborn. The MCU version of Norman Osborn. Matthew McConaughey. All right. But or the return of Tony Stark in this as the ultimate Iron Man, played by Tom Cruise. Who knows? So much could be coming for Armor Wars, but I definitely feel like Riri is what they're waiting to introduce before kicking the show off.
She's the key.
So, all right, now it's time for the segment. Apparently, Ish has been waiting to talk about. It's what's Ish housing? So, what were you eating this week, Ish?
Oh, that was a tuna boat.
A tuna boat.
So it's an English muffin with tuna and melted cheese and a piece of tomato.
Never heard of a tuna boat before.
It's your mom's secret recipe. And yes, your mom made it for me. I'm eating your mom's tuna.
Shut your mouth.
Lance did not find that funny. He's enthralled.
Oh, I was reading She-Hulk spoilers. Sorry.
He was imagining a crumpet with
all right. Well, since
tuna and melted cheese.
Since Lance can't wait to talk about it, let's get into our review of She-Hulk. Yes. Let's talk about She-Hulk episode 1. Lance, go ahead and give us a rundown of the synopsis of the first episode of She-Hulk.
Yeah, so basically it opens up with Jennifer Walters. She is rehearsing her closing arguments for a case that she's about to go close. And it goes into her kind of flashbacking. She breaks the fourth wall, kind of flashbacks into the story of how she became She-Hulk. We see her interactions with her cousin, Bruce Banner, aka Hulk, kind of training her. We find out some of the differences between them. And she subsequently unveils her new power set to the world in some way. Was that close enough?
That was like a synopsis.
Yeah, sounds like you nailed it to me.
Well, you went off camera, so normally we have you do these things because I'm not good at them. But that's pretty. I mean, not a whole lot happened in the episode, right? I mean,
in many ways, it was kind of faithful to. It's supposed to be part of like the John Byrne run, an adaptation of that from the 1980s. So the breaking the fourth wall is kind of from that, and the lighter tone. They changed the origin story just a little bit. No big deal. I don't know if you guys noticed.
Quite a bit, though.
They also kind of retconned Hulk's origin, Or if they didn't retcon, they're kind of acknowledging, because Hulk's origin story is kind of still technically outside of the MCU in that Ang Lee Hulk movie. And he refers to where it's like a genetic thing, because in that movie, that made it clear that when Bruce Banner was born, his genes had already been altered. So it was a genetic thing. And in this, he mentions that we have a genetic anomaly that no other person on the planet has.
That allows us to take gamma radiation, right?
So that pretty much rules out us ever getting a Red Hulk. Now.
Well, that could be because William
Ross can't be,
because the actor died, and maybe they just want to close the chapter on that. But they could do Red Hulk some other way. They'll figure out probably some dumbass way to go around it.
But
no, I mean, I thought the show was really funny. Like, it reminded me. The problem I've had with Marvel for the last little while, I feel like a lot, like Moon Knight specifically, kind of taking itself way too seriously, to the point where it looks like Marvel kind of lost their identity a little bit. This feels much more akin to those earlier Marvel movies that we got that were humorous and maybe packed in more jokes and action. Did it feel that way to you guys?
Well, I mean, if we look at something like the new Thor movie, which I hated, and that was packed full of jokes and action. This is different because it was packed full of jokes,
but not as much action.
But maybe they were actually funny, whereas I thought
that's true.
Thor, they were just not funny at all.
Thor is eye rolling.
Joe's Doolin said apparently Hulk rage makes curly hair straight. No, I mean, I liked it. I liked the callback to the Thor Ragnarok with the Sicarian ship.
Yeah.
And Bruce being like, well, I have to figure out what that was all about.
So Grandmaster's still looking for him.
I don't mind the fact that honestly, it wouldn't make sense if she got shot and him to do a blood transfusion on her, like in the comics. Like, I think this makes more sense if they're in a car accident. No, she gets shot.
I thought she had cancer. Why did I think she had cancer?
Is
there a run where she's super sick and has cancer?
No, that's Jane Foster.
Oh, maybe I just got.
And Captain
Jane Foster has cancer.
Maybe I just Captain Marvel dies of cancer.
Yeah, Captain Marvel also dies of cancer, but She-Hulk doesn't. She gets shot.
Deadpool has cancer.
Yeah. She gets shot, and Bruce has to give her a blood transfusion, and that's how she gets her She-Hulk powers. But like, I was talking to Sam about this. Sam was like, "That's stupid. How she gets, he bleeds on her, and she gets injected with it." And I'm like, it makes sense. She cuts her arm. He's bleeding. His blood gets into her body. People like that. That's how people get STDs AIDS all the time, or AIDS. Yeah, or bloodborne pathogens. Man, it makes total sense. So.
I didn't have any issue with it not making sense,
I didn't think that was the strongest moment of the episode, because it did kind of feel like super coincidental, almost like a Deus Ex Machina, like we just got to make this moment happen. Whereas what Matt said, it more naturally, like that kind of stuff does happen. So they could have shown it maybe in a more natural way, not just the one little specific blood thing. But I guess you can't get too bloody in a show like that.
But I liked that this show is kind of stepping out of the boundaries of previous Marvel shows and giving you a little bit more adult humor in it. Like the whole conversation they're having about Steve Rogers' virginity before the car accident, and like how they just like start beating the crap out of each other, and they're getting drunk, and just the themes and undertones of this show are much more adult oriented, but lighthearted versus what we've previously kind of gotten with Miss Marvel and other projects, Thor Ragnarok, things like that.
Yeah, it almost feels like it's a couple F-bombs away from being like a Hulu series instead of Disney Plus.
Right.
It's not necessarily something directed at kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kid would care about courtroom drama and stuff like that?
But
I do hope we get more of the courtroom stuff, though. That's kind of what I wanted to see with Daredevil, and apparently Daredevil Born Again, it's going to be a lot of that courtroom stuff.
I read somewhere that where the writers of the show were getting to that and then decided that they don't know how to write courtroom scenes, so they were going to go in another direction.
Well, I mean, I almost feel like you're going to get more of the courtroom stuff with this than you are the fighting of supervillains. Like, that's kind of why Titania shows up and gets beat right off the rip, and just as quickly as she shows up, because I think it wants you to focus more on her work as a lawyer dealing with these supervillains rather than being out there fighting supervillains like the rest of the MCU is, like we've grown accustomed to. So,
yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if, where Sam made a good comparison to me about this show, as like he compared it to Ally McBeal. And this very much feels like the Ally McBeal of the MCU, where Daredevil could be more like the courtroom drama of the MCU.
I saw that comparison about a month ago. Someone was comparing it to Ally McBeal, more Ally McBeal and less Law and Order.
Yeah, where I think Daredevil, you might get more Law and Order.
I do think that that's how the introduction of Matt Murdock and Jennifer Walters is going to happen, is in the courtroom.
Oh yeah, that totally sense.
Yeah, and then Matt Murdock is going to, maybe he was in that courtroom when she hulked out at the end of this episode. Now he's like, what the hell is that? And he has to go.
I think it's more like it's saying that if she's defending supervillains, it's going to be more so he's probably going to be defending someone on the other end of the case that she's trying.
Maybe it's Peter Parker.
That'd be cool too.
Getting sued, by the Shocker or something.
Yeah.
Or you see a lot of or you see the courtroom stuff with Peter Parker you didn't get to see in No Way Home, where they kind of just glossed over it, where Matt Murdock was just like, oh, well, you're not getting charged with anything. So
do you think we might see, I forget her name, Elaine from Seinfeld.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
Yeah, I forget the character's name. Do you think we might see that character show up, and maybe she's the one that needs lawyers for supervillains?
Maybe. Yeah, what if she's trying to get Wyatt Russell's character off?
U.S.
agent off for his role and all that, or if she's trying to get Baron Zemo.
Especially if he's going pro boner, then
cleared.
She'll definitely be getting him off.
Did you say pro boner?
Yeah.
Hartman made that joke too, pro boner.
Yes, the Contessa, Madame Hydra. I have a feeling like this kind of is like a storyline where she can finally like introduce whatever her deal is.
Which is going to lead into us getting the Thunderbolts, you think?
It's very possible. It might be how he explained Red Hulk.
I mean, I think just this show was very simple in its delivery. We weren't expecting much. It didn't give us much, but I think it was just enough to make it interesting. I was pleasantly surprised. Like, I was not expecting what we got.
I thought the CGI, which was like a big thing on the internet before the show came out, I thought it was fine. I don't know if they actually corrected it from the trailer, or
I still think the CGI is shitty. Like, there's parts where she looks really good, and the deep fake on her is really good, and then there's other parts where it's just dog shit. And Mark Ruffalo's looks good the entire way through.
He looked pretty good,
but hers is just dog shit. Like, there's times where it like looks like the actress's actual face, and then there's times where it looks really bad. Like, she looks like fucking one of those things from that fucking I Am Legend, one of the vampire things from I Am Legend.
Yeah, I agree. That it's specifically when she's speaking that I feel like the art isn't, I don't know what it is. And plus, like, her hairline is so far above where her head actually is. Like just looking at her face, even in this picture, something's off with her face. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like there's about 6 inches from her forehead to the top of her hair
As Hulk or as Jennifer Walters?
as Hulk. But Mark Ruffalo, his Hulk CGI I didn't have any issue with, except when they're falling through the roof of the tiki bar, it looked pretty bad.
Yeah, well, like when she hulks out at the dudes that are hitting on her at the bar, that looked terrible. There's a couple scenes in the lab where when she hulks out in the lab and she starts talking to Bruce and he's like, "You've got control, there's nobody else at the wheel." The CGI looks really good there at times too, but yeah, it just, and then when she hulks out in the courtroom, it just looks terrible again. So like it goes in and out, but
Yeah.
Hartman's saying that they had to do reshoots on it. He said the first episode was butchered, wasn't it not? Like reshot and edited. He said it was publicly brought up they were going to use parts of this episode towards the end of the season, but they were forced to reshoot.
Huh.
But
I don't know. I did read something maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago that Disney is talking about just creating their own in-house visual effects team.
yeah, because they're tired of hiring contractors and then bitching. Is pretty much what it is.
So, and Disney, I mean, you got that Disney money, you can hire the best of the best of the best, right?
They need their own slaves.
Yeah, they're tired of people bitching about long hours and reshoots and all that. So
you're the largest movie studio in the world, right? Disney's the largest, right?
Yeah,
I would say. Yeah,
probably.
we're in agreement there.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there.
Why would they be subcontracting something?
Because it's that old adage, you don't get rich by spending your money, son. You get rich by spending someone else's money, or you get rich by saving money. So you're gonna penny pinch, dude. If they can lease out to a subcontractor that's gonna do it for half the price of what it's gonna cost for them to pay actual employees to do it, fuck yeah, they're gonna do that. They're gonna save themselves some money on that, $100 million movie they just made.
But think about how many projects are coming out now where CGI is the primary focus of that movie. I would argue,
and then you
more
see
than
why,
half, if not all of them outside the animated stuff, is CGI focused. Like they haven't come out with anything that's doesn't have a heavy CGI feel. Probably the first thing would probably be National Treasure, I would assume. But they haven't come out with anything that doesn't have a heavy CGI.
You're just talking about Disney as they?
Disney, Marvel, Star Wars. Like I think to me it would make total like quality control. The fact that you have the final say over
right?
how something, you have more control over the final product.
Well, and like Aaron said, and they don't have to pay benefits because they're contracting out. So they don't have to pay health insurance. They don't have to pay.
But we're talking about a multi-billion-dollar company.
But that's any millionaire is going to tell you that's how the rich stay rich is a penny pinch, man. They're not gonna.
Yeah, but if you're having an issue where you're subcontracting and you're not getting the quality out of it,
but that's just an issue recently. Like up until Endgame, they didn't really have that issue. It's everything Endgame forward. Endgame was awesome too, but like everything after that is where the issues come in. They had issues in Doctor Strange. They had issues in Spider-Man. They had issues in this.
What issues did they have in Spider-Man?
There was CGI issues at the beginning that they reshot with Doc Ock and the tentacles and stuff, but Thor Ragnarok had big CGI issues.
Oh yeah.
So
Thor, I would argue, is probably the worst offender that I remember recently. Like Thor was pretty bad.
Yeah, Zaggy says, or not Zaggy, but Harmon says, look at when and how quick her reveal is.
What do you mean?
Like they introduce her super quick. Like her reveal of going She-Hulk is done off screen, and she runs away. Like you just barely see it in like the reflection of the car, and then she runs away. And how quick, like when she transforms at the bar, all she does real quick is turn around and scream, and then you see Hulk tackle her. And so it's like they had to perfect it, and I think it's just the deep. I almost wonder if it's because I believe when they shoot Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk, it's Mark Ruffalo in the suit, and they're CGIing around him. Her, I believe they have a body double, so they're deep faking her on someone else's body when she's hulked out.
No. They've shown behind the scenes of the two of them in mocap suits with big things over them, so they know where the eye level. It's both of them. I've seen it with my own eyes. Both of them in mocap suits, talking with each other. It does look like it's like deep faked. I would agree with you, but they were saying they did an interview. I don't know if it was on Jimmy Fallon or what, where they were talking about how funny it was, like both being in these mocap suits looking. They basically put this stick with where the eye line is supposed to be, and you got to talk to like a tennis ball or something like that of where they're supposed to be looking. But yeah, they've both come out and said it, that they've shown pictures of them both in the mocap suits. I wonder, however, if it's not always that way, if maybe they do have a double in.
Yeah, I wonder if the shot where her CGI looked good is where they mocap around her, and where it looks bad is when they're using the body double.
Maybe. Or maybe when it looks bad, it's just so quick that they didn't spend as much time.
Man, I hope Wong isn't the big like reveal either. Like,
well, he was in the trailer too, right? When they show him in the trailer?
Yeah.
Apparently this person's not in any of the trailers. I don't know. I hope we're not let down, because was it Moon Knight that was supposed to be like the 4th or 5th episode that was supposed to have this gigantic reveal, and then it was just kind of like meh.
Yeah. See, Hartman's saying that they hired a 6-foot actress to stand in, to double as her.
So I wonder if that's sometimes, and then other times when there's like long dialogue parts, when it looks good, that it's actually her in the mocap suit. Why would they do that? I don't understand why they would do that. Maybe it's just cheaper, like to paint somebody, Lou Ferrigno it and paint somebody green in the fight scenes. It's cheaper to do that than to mocap her fighting. But they don't do that with the Hulk, because you're not going to find a 9-foot man. How tall's the Hulk? He makes a mention of don't buy an apartment with less than 10-foot ceilings, so it's got to be at least 9 feet.
Yeah.
So you can't really hire a stand-in for that.
Stick Boy says paint is so 70s.
I don't know. I mean,
because they were showing pictures from the red carpet, and the actress who playing Jennifer Walters is standing next to a woman who doesn't look like she's part of the cast, but she's the same height and build as She-Hulk. And so that's why I'm saying, like, makes me wonder.
Trying to see if I can find that picture that I saw of her in the mocap.
So I don't know, and like I said, at times it looks like she's deep faked on someone else's body.
Like, was this from the original trailer?
Yeah, that's the original. That's in the original trailer.
But this is not this one here, right? And this looks bad in my opinion.
They both look bad in my opinion.
Oh yeah, this one definitely looks bad, but this one also looks bad. But here, I don't think it looks that bad. But this is actually like a high, like this looks awful. Looks like he's not even carrying that person. And I bet you scenes like this was probably done with a body double. Don't you think?
See, is that the director?
Look
Maybe?
at the hand on his leg. Like, it looks so bad. I gotta be careful what I...
Yeah, so that is the director. Maybe it's the director I saw.
Yeah, so you see like this mocap suit with Korg. They put like this thing on his head so you know where to look.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it is all mocap, but it sure feels like it was like deep faked with a body double.
I agree with you. I think there's some points where it's deep faked.
But
yeah, see, this one has a giant. This one is the one with the tennis ball, I think, on it.
Ghost Rider is the speculated appearance, it says.
That'd be cool. I doubt it though, because we would see some sort of casting.
Well, not necessarily, because they hid Hercules coming up at the end of Ragnarok, or not Ragnarok, but of Love and Thunder.
It's true.
So
I guess
it could be kept under wraps. They do kind of give the little tease towards Johnny Blaze in the trailer on that like flyer behind her.
in the trailer, Ghost Rider in the She-Hulk trailer.
Isn't the She-Hulk trailer where there's the Johnny Blaze poster in the background?
Really?
I'm pretty sure unless it's a movie trailer, but pretty sure it's the.
It's so blurry, I can't even tell.
Yeah, it's by Wong. Yeah,
But is Johnny Blaze now a magician? Because that's what this poster kind of looks like.
Maybe
He's not going to be a daredevil anymore. Not daredevil, stunt person.
it could be a stunt part. I mean, it could just be like he's gonna do a trick or something, and it's just an ad for like his next big trick. He could be like the David Blaine type or David Copperfield type or something like that, where he's a daredevil / stuntman, and it's just a flyer for like his next big trick. Maybe he's like the Chris Angel of the MCU.
Yeah. What do you prefer more? His look in the Daredevil show? This is Matt Murdock we're looking at. Or this? He's got like a friggin' like...
It's the same. It looks like
he's got like this collar thing going on. But let me try to see if I can find one that's bigger.
I do like the orange tones.
Yeah. Kind of wish he had the double D on his chest.
I like double D's myself, Lance.
Yeah, I like double D chests.
No, you see,
I'm all for more double D chests.
Yeah.
In Marvel.
Do you see that he's got like this so here he's got like this frat boy like collar thing going on in the new show.
Yeah.
See this in the back?
Yeah.
Ooh, why is that frat boy?
Because he's popping his collar.
Pop collar.
Pop collar.
Pop the collar. Frat boy.
What frat does he belong to?
MCU.
Alpha Pi.
Yeah.
Alpha Pi.
MCU Alpha Pi.
I like
don't
how
know.
they just crudely photoshopped her in the photo there.
I know someone. I don't know. See, in this scene when they're like throwing rocks and stuff in the I don't know what you would call this, the forest at the tiki bar, it didn't look so bad, I think.
And what makes you think that they CGI'd her is her boobs get bigger too, like
I was just gonna say, do her boobs hulk out too?
right? Like she goes from like an A cup to a fucking double D cup when she hulks out, like
Well, everything gets bigger.
I guess.
So the
Yeah,
Hulk
I guess
must
she
have
goes
a
from like
massive
frumpy
schlong.
to like sexy lady.
So does that mean like Bruce Banner goes from like a micro peen to just being hung like a horse when he hulks out? Who knows?
I don't know, man.
Probably, but
You know, the first episode, like, it just gave you a little tease. There's not much to really like unpack, really, except for the fact that they changed her origin story and it was funny, and apparently Captain America fucks. So
Oh, that's right. She-Hulk Frogman is supposed to be in She-Hulk too.
well, and they showed something that looks like Frogman in the trailer.
Yeah.
He's got like these lights.
Yeah, he's literally right there on your screen. That's what made me think of it. Because I saw the
right
picture
here?
literally right there on your screen. Yeah.
I don't think this is from the show though, is it?
Yeah.
This looks like a Power Ranger villain.
It was in the trailer. He's in the trailer. He's in the very first trailer.
It's like a crossover between Power Rangers and Kick-Ass.
Yeah. Is
What-
this
what do
really
you-
what it's gonna look like? That looks bad.
Hartman,
Let's
I don't
have
know what
one.
you're talking about.
We should have one where Jen Walters is
He's saying that
defending
when she
Howard the
hulks
Duck
out,
for
she's
exposing
got
himself.
makeup on.
I never said anything
But-
about makeup.
I don't know what you're talking about. The makeup theory, Hartman. Power as or Kick Rangers.
Hartman is saying I would look better with makeup.
rude.
He's going on about makeup.
Yeah, how she should defend Howard the Duck for exposing himself.
Oh, that'll be a fun episode.
I would laugh my ass off. And don't like ducks have like penises that are like barbed and like freaking nasty? Oh, what's Ish housing?
I don't know. I don't look at duck penises, Lance.
Tuna boat.
My life does not consist of Googling duck penises.
Well, let's do it right here on the show. No, I'm just kidding.
Hartman says duck rape.
Do you think that would get us subscribers if we started Googling duck?
No, I don't think Googling duck dongs would get you any subscribers. I really don't think you Googling duck dong is going to get us anything, buddy.
Oh man, I want more Howard the Duck.
Ugh.
You don't want more Howard the Duck, Seth Rogen? I just like Seth Rogen, not Seth.
He
Rogen.
says duck vagina is like a trap maze, so dicks can't inseminate them. I'm not lying.
Who am I thinking? Not
Inseminate. Oh, okay.
He says they have a corkscrew dick.
that's what it is. I knew it was something weird.
Absolute Duck Panay podcast. Yeah, no.
It's not Seth Rogen.
We don't need
it's
to look
Howard
up
the
duck
What-
penises.
What's his name? The Seth. Is it Seth?
Seth what?
What's the voice of Howard the Duck?
Seth Green.
Seth Green. Thank you. It's losing my mind trying to think of who it was.
Well, we all know
That
what Lance is
asshole.
going to be doing tonight after the podcast.
Duck
He's going
peen.
to totally go and Google
It's
search
gonna be
duck
fucking
peen.
ducks.
Yeah, duck peen.
Hey, everybody's got their thing, man.
Hey, you complained about Warren Jeffs earlier. Now you're a fucking duck fucker.
Harvard said they did a scientifically accurate DuckTales song
Woo!
on YouTube.
Hey, Darkwing
Ducking
Duck is
out.
coming back as a comic book.
Needs
Yes,
to
he
come back
is.
as a show.
Like transition.
That's like one of my favorite shows.
Oh,
when I was a
drink.
kid.
Everybody take a drink. It's his favorite. It's the
Darkwing Duck's
best.
fucking awesome. Got a little tease of him at the end of Chip and Dale.
Stick Boy says a Pete will be knocking on your door after checking your search history. But
Oh, well, what do you think? Are you excited for episode 2 of She-Hulk?
yeah, I'm definitely down for it. Aaron really enjoyed the show.
I
liked
feel
it.
we got the like origin story out of the way. Now we can actually get to some stories.
Yeah.
I did like how they got through it pretty quickly. Don't you think? Like, let's
Yeah,
not
when you
spend
guys were talking
too
about
much
how
on
they
that.
did her reveal too fast, I thought they just wanted to kind of
Oh.
let's just get it on.
Aaron, my love,
No
let
slow
me
burn.
help you out. It's not bestiality. It's now you got me interspecies erotica, fucko. That's what he calls it. It's not bestiality, it's interspecies erotica, fucko. That's the line from Clerks 2 you're looking for. Yes.
And on that cue, Lance. Oh, he's back.
Yeah. Hey, did you guys see the Spider-Man No Way Home super awesome uncut edition or something, whatever the
The
fuck they're
more
calling
fun
it?
stuff edition.
Yeah. Tickets go on sale Tuesday.
Yeah. Guess what I'm not
Wait,
going
what
to
is
see
this?
in the theater.
They're adding like 15 minutes to the movie.
To which movie?
Spider-Man No Way Home.
It's
No Way
stuff
Home.
that was already
The
promised
theatrical.
in the
It was-
Blu-ray as
Yeah, it was-
extras, but they never gave you.
Which probably after it airs, then they're going to come out with the special more fun stuff edition Blu-ray. And I'm going to be a fucking sucker and go buy that one.
Yeah. Me too.
Not me.
But I'm going to go see it in the theaters again, I think.
Not
me.
no sucker.
Dude, why? I'm not gonna buy into that. I've already seen the movie. What's an extra?
Dude, if you
4
can't buy
minutes
into
of shit
Superman, you ain't buying into that.
doing? Yeah, no.
I hope it shows more about
No more fun stuff for Matt.
how
Nope.
Toby and Andrew got pulled into the universe. That's what I want to see. That's the part that I feel like was missing from that movie. It's like, oh, here's a portal, and they just walk through, and then no explanation, not what they were doing. Why is Tobey Maguire 40 years older than Andrew Garfield? If they were both pulled at the same time. Like I want more of that.
Well, they're from different universes.
Yeah, I know. I'm
They're
just
pulled from different times in their career. Because Toby has it says that Toby has been Spider-Man for quite some time. So they're not the same age.
Isn't Andrew Garfield like in an alleyway, right? And he's in the
Yeah.
Spider-Man outfit.
Mhm.
And Toby says that once he appeared in this universe, he felt like he needed to search out their Peter Parker. So he was looking for Peter Parker. So who knows? All I know is that if you go see that in theaters and you spend another $15 to see that movie again, you are a total sucker for an extra few minutes of shit that you were promised on the extra 4 hours of deleted scenes that you got on the Blu-ray that don't exist.
Or you just want to see the movie again in a theater.
Well,
Nothing
you're
wrong
still a
with
sucker.
that.
Watch it at home. Just like all you schmucks that are going to go watch Rogue One for the umpteenth thousand time in IMAX. Like, it's not going to
Hey,
change
if I
the
could
movie.
plunk
at all.
down $20 for hot steaming garbage like Thor: Love and Thunder,
It's not going to change the
I
movie
can go
at all.
see a Spider-Man movie that I enjoyed very much again.
Exactly. Even if there was an extra shit, I'd probably go still see it.
Watch it at home, you schmuck.
I like
I'll
watching
watch it at home and in a theater because
Mhm.
it's Spider-Man.
3 of them. It's not just Spider-Man. It's
Thor: Love
three
and
Spider-Man.
Thunder. Like, I'm not looking forward. I'm a completist, so I'm gonna have to get the Blu-ray. I'm already not looking forward to spending money on that fucking Blu-ray.
Oh yeah, I
That
bought
shitty
Black Widow
movie.
and Captain Marvel, and it
Whatever.
made my ass hurt.
I still haven't bought.
Well, I think
Black
your
Widow.
ass hurts
I'm
from
waiting for
other
some like
reasons.
huge price drop.
Yeah, duck peen really tears it up.
Yes.
Yeah. That's now you know what Max and Lance do on Friday nights after the show. They get together and they look up duck peeing.
Well, Sticks Boy, as a matter of fact, it did get a re-release.
Dick Peen and brick oven pizzas. That's Lance's search history right there. And Blink
what-
182.
Why'd you bring up Blink 182?
I don't know. I just throwing it all in there.
I did buy a new Blink 182 Funko Pop that just got released. It's a 3-pack of all three of them from the Enema of the State video when they're naked playing their instruments.
Hartman says it's funny until you have a duck dick entering and exiting your body at the same time.
Oh boy.
The good old days.
Your
to
mom
answer
says
Sticks Boy's question.
your mom says quit complaining ish. You have like 3 different versions of Into the Darkness, so you don't get to complain.
And I fucking hate that movie.
Why do you have
So then why do you have 3 different versions
Because it's
of
Star Trek. I get all the Star Trek stuff. Because I'm a sucker. As Matt pointed out, I'm a sucker. I'm the sucker that keeps these movie studios alive.
At least we weren't suckers to try to go to the Morbius re-release.
It's Morbius.
I still haven't given a single dime to Morbius.
I
did.
I drew the
buy
line
that.
there.
I buy
No.
every Marvel movie. I did not buy that one. And I probably
Sticks
won't.
Boy, the Star Trek movie was remastered in 4K and they re-released in theaters like 2 months ago, and the Blu-ray comes out in September. A remastering of the director's cut. Anyway.
Yeah, what
I
is
like
this?
how-
What is this thought that Star Trek's not loved? Like, that's a good movie.
I don't think anybody has thought that.
Which is a good movie.
Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie.
Yeah, I love that movie.
That
I
is
love every
that
movie.
is
Lance,
a
you're not
true
helping your
science
case.
fiction film.
Now I just think you're doing it to be a fucking troll.
Lance, say it's the best. Say it's your favorite.
Now that
It's
he
the
just
best
did. He
ever.
just said,
Say
"I
it.
love that movie."
Say
Now I
it's
think
the
he's just
best
doing it to be
ever.
a fucking troll.
It's my favorite of all time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
She-Hulk is my favorite of all time. I love Rogue
Sticks
One.
said
I'm gonna
he'd
go
go
see
see
it
Wrath
50 times in IMAX.
Stick said he'd go see Wrath of Khan again.
I love Thor: Love and
So
Thunder. I'm
Rogue
gonna go
One
see it a
comes
million
out
times.
next weekend in IMAX with additional scenes from the show Andor, correct?
No, I just think it's
It's just an IMAX re-release before Andor.
I read that
Or-
there's going to be additional scenes
Oh well, maybe I haven't read anything about additional
that have to
scenes.
do with Andor.
Well, good on them then.
You're not excited for that?
No,
I just don't like the chairs at IMAX.
You just don't
best
like what?
name ever.
The
Jedi.
seats at IMAX.
Dick.
Oh, because they're kind of old.
Ice Pirates.
Yeah, why you have like the best screen in all of movie theaters and you have the worst seats ever? Like, I want to sit in a recliner. Like AMC has it, right?
But you can't do the recliner because it's not. It's more than it's really steep. That IMAX
So?
screen is 6 feet tall. You can't be doing.
Have you been to a
recliners.
Dolby? Have you been to a Dolby theater?
Dolby Cinema? Yeah,
Yeah, that screen is super huge too.
it's still not as big as the IMAX,
They could make it as big as the IMAX. No
but
problem.
they didn't. The
They
IMAX is still
could.
the biggest screen. It's 6 stories tall. That's a massive screen.
Yeah, you could still do recliners in there. I don't know. I hate IMAX seats, man. And then like if you sit too far to the side, then it all looks fucking like warped and shit. Like I don't like
Yeah, with IMAX, you got to be centered.
I
That's
just
kind
think
of-
that
seating is key
re-releasing
there.
movies after they're already on, like if they're classics, like I understand like The Wizard of Oz, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Grease, like these classic movies that you probably didn't get that you might love today that you probably didn't get a chance to see on the big screen. That makes sense. That's fine. But re-releasing Spider-Man No Way Home with a few minutes of extra shit.
See, I'm a
grab
complete
more
opposite
money.
from you, dude. I'm complete opposite from you.
See, all that's
Max's
going to
wife-
pay for the new in-house CGI people.
Yeah, Max's
Yeah.
wife went and saw The Breakfast Club at the theaters the other day, and I'm like, why?
Oh, I would
Why?
totally do that.
I like. The
I'm
Breakfast
so
Club.
excited. On Sunday, I'm going to see the 60th anniversary screening of Dr. No at AMC, and I'm fucking pumped for that.
Yeah, I don't know. We went and saw Die Hard.
Don't say
Like
yeah, I
last
don't
year.
know. Dr. No.
No, I like that movie. I just don't know if I want to go see it in the theater. I don't know.
Like I went and saw Clerks re-released in the theater at Film Bar because it's one of those movies that I was introduced to after it was already out on VHS. I didn't see it in theaters, and it's one of my all-time favorite movies. So I was like, I'm gonna go see it in the theater just to say I've done that. Like that makes sense. But Spider-Man No Way Home, I saw it in theaters. I don't need to see it again. And I own it on Blu-ray with my fucking badass TV, high def 4K TV, where I can watch in the comfort of my own home. Why do I want to pay $15 to go watch 4 extra minutes of shit?
Have you
It's
ever
just
seen a
like-
movie twice in theaters?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
have.
so how is this any different then?
But I mean, that's because the movie isn't released and I can't watch it at home. If it was released, I could watch it at home, then that's what I would do, is watch it at home the second time I watched it.
Yeah.
But if it's something I can't watch at home and I really enjoyed, then yeah, I'll go see a movie multiple times. Or it's like something like with the Marvel movies, dude, like because I do this podcast and most Marvel movies come out on Thursday, I look forward to them. I go watch it Thursday night, and then I'll go again with the friend who hasn't seen it, or go again with Aaron who hasn't seen it, or whatever. You know, it's just like that. That's one thing. But if I can watch it at home, I'll watch it at the theater once, and the rest of the time it'll be straight at home.
I just like going to the movie theater, man. I like.
Sure,
my
first
thing
3
with-
phases, I probably saw every movie at least twice in theaters.
Really?
I saw Endgame.
I think I saw
probably
Endgame like 3 times.
3 times myself too. Yeah.
I saw Endgame.
but
at
previous
least
that,
7 times in the theaters.
All of them I went to see twice. Like when I went to see Ant-Man, I came out, I was like, all right, I got to go see that in IMAX 3D. And then we went and did that.
If they re-released Endgame in the theaters again, I would go see it again. Because in the theater, it's just like it makes it so much better.
But see,
Like,
I'm not a mark for IMAX either. I don't. The size of the screen doesn't. I go for the just nostalgia feeling in the. Like,
You go for the motion in the recliner, not for the
No,
size,
I go for
not
the
size
just-
of the screen.
the magic of going to the movies, not the size of the screen. Like,
But that adds
To
to
me,
the
there's
magic.
still-
If it's the more immersive it is, the more magical
Nah.
it is.
I don't think
IMAX,
so.
IMAX. I just
Like I went to see Top Gun 2 last weekend. I don't think I would have liked it at all sitting at home watching it. But when I saw it on IMAX, that first 30 minutes especially was like, oh my God, I was sucked in. It
but
was
see, that's.
it was a
like-
visceral ride. You were right there feeling it. And
But
you
see,
don't
I
get that
think
at
the
home.
sound
There's no
mix
way.
team and the theaters bumped up their sound systems for that movie, because even in going to Harkins in a regular theater, when those jets are going, like the bass rumbles, like you feel like your seat's moving. Like it was very immersive. Like
then go see it in Dolby, because Dolby has the best sound out of
Yeah.
any theater. Like, and they literally have subwoofers in your seats. And I saw Top Gun in Dolby, and literally it felt like my seat was gonna explode. Like it was insane. You could hear, like, there was 3 or 4 theaters in the building all playing Top Gun at different times.
yeah,
And
you could
when
hear
the
theater
jets went
next to
off
you.
in the
You hear
next
the
theater, you
rumbles.
could hear. Oh yeah, dude! It was like it was in the same screening that you were in. It was crazy.
But like I'm waiting because I want to watch Top Gun again. I'm waiting for it to come to Paramount Plus, because I'm not going to go back to the theater and see it again.
It's supposed to come soon, right?
No, they haven't announced a Paramount Plus date. They announced that it's coming to digital release where you can buy it again, or it's going to come to DVD in like November. But I'm waiting
that's
for it to
probably-
be Paramount Plus.
That's probably a movie that I'll purchase on 4K.
I would love to watch it in 4D with motion seats. That'd be crazy. But
How come we don't have those here? We only have one theater here in the state that has those.
A
and
lot
it's
of
like a
theaters had them
surprise.
at one point. I guess people just weren't paying for them. And
I saw
got rid of
John
them.
Wick 3, I think, in those
And if you
motion
mess
seats
up the
in
seat,
Colorado.
it's a ton of money for them to get maintenance, and they just weren't bringing in the revenue.
John Wick 3 in those motion seats was the coolest thing I'd ever experienced, man. Like when he's racing through the tunnels, like on that bike, and your seat's like moving along with him. It was fucking awesome. I've wanted to go do it again since I tried it. I've only done it once. I've wanted to go do it again, but there's only one theater in the entire state that has it. And I think it's like in Surprise or something.
No, not anymore. It used to be.
They
but
got
it's
rid of
not.
it too. I saw, what was it, the Seth Rogen Green Hornet. Oh man, that was so, because that movie is so lame. The seat barely moved. I was like, this is so bad.
Hey Max, how's the Bald and Bearded convention going? Are you having a good
D-Box,
time?
that's what it's called.
Yeah, D-Box. You know, you can buy D-Box at home, and
Yeah, I've
some
seen that.
Blu-rays come with a code that synchronizes to your seat. That's if you got like $1 million to spend.
Or you have one of those new couches that have like the surround sound built into it and the cushion and shit that you can apparently take apart and rearrange to make whatever you want.
Yeah, Lovesack makes those.
Max says the Bald and Bearded convention is going great. It's awesome, Max. All right, Ish. I'm interested to hear your mom's rant on Monday Night Raw.
Oh,
That's my cue. You guys have a good night.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Last time I had to sit through you guys talking to this, I was
wait,
bored out
hold
of
on.
control.
Lance, don't leave for a couple minutes.
What?
Ish is gonna go get your mom.
Hmm.
She's gonna sit right next to you and she's gonna talk to you about the birds and the bees. She's gonna
I'm
give you that talk that you needed so long ago.
I
Five
think
kids
I've
later.
I think I've gotten a crash course. on that.
five kids later, you're finally gonna get the talk.
How do I
about the
buy
birds
one
and
of
the
these fucking chairs?
What chairs?
The D-Box chairs.
Oh my god, you're literally gonna buy one of those?
I would buy one totally.
No.
How do
Just buy
How do I fucking get one?
Just buy a really good Zachy says you're gonna get to talk about ducks and bees.
How do I fucking buy one of these? I'm just trying to see how much they cost. And I can't find it.
You're just gonna get a little pop-up that says if you need to find a price, you can't afford it, son. Zaggy
Home
says
theater
Amazon.
North America. Amazon has them?
Nice Green Goblin shirt. I just noticed that. Is that a pop Green Goblin shirt?
Yeah.
Nice.
I've worn it several times. I've had this for a while. It's like one of my favorite shirts.
Did you get it in like one of those like pop boxes or something?
Yeah. D-Box chair on Amazon.
God save the freak. For all you fucking Stranger Things fans, Eddie for life, boys.
I don't see them on Amazon.
Zaggy says they're like $6,000.
What?
Hi.
Hi.
It's your mom.
I get to see everyone now.
Dude.
Or you get to see me. I don't know. So, we're talking about wrestling?
Yeah, let's hear your Monday. Ish said
got-
you have this like profound
I
Monday
don't-
Night Raw rant you want to go on. So
I don't
I'm
know
here
if it's a
for it.
rant. I just kind of rambled at him. I finished Raw today finally because we record it and watch it when we have time. And I was just kind of loving Dolph Ziggler beating the crap out of Theory backstage.
Because Pat McAfee beat the Austin off of him.
I just like it when anybody beats Theory up because he's such an a-hole. That's
Yes.
I just want to punch him in the face harder than that little girl that played Leia in Obi-Wan.
Oh, I loved her.
And I can't handle it. He's the most annoying man. I like it when he holds up his money in the bank briefcase and it's got the huge dent where they used it to beat him over the head. Who did that? Was that Brock Lesnar that did that to him?
I
and
think so,
dented it
yeah.
up. That was
Mhm.
when he ran out at SummerSlam and tried to cash in, and they just beat him with it.
Yeah. Didn't he get F5'd on it
Yeah.
during SummerSlam?
I think he did. He got like F5'd on the. Oh my gosh, that was
It-
magic.
He gives me young John Cena vibes, though.
I hated John Cena too.
He gives me
Jean
like early
shorts?
John. Yeah.
Jean
like,
shorts,
well,
really? Like I never. I have always hated John Cena. Always.
Yeah. He gives
I've
me those
never.
ruthless aggression John Cena vibes.
Yeah, I like. There's never been a good John Cena either. Oh, that's not true. Actually, I found him mildly amusing on the Divas reality show on the
Total
E
Divas?
Network. Yeah, he was amusing, playing a weird version of himself on a reality show. But that's it. Making dick jokes in a superhero movie, I guess, was funny, but never as a wrestler. I have never liked John Cena. Yeah.
So, okay, so you just like the Theory getting beat up on Raw.
Oh yeah, no, that was kind of the highlight. The last couple of weeks, I have really enjoyed whatever. What are they like? Rhea Ripley and all them, whatever they're calling themselves.
Judgment
Day. I've been really liking that because I like anything with Edge. I've always been an Edge fan. I've always found him super super amusing. I think it's because I'm a troll.
Judgment.
and Edge is he's always been just uber trolly as a wrestler. And Edge and Christian, when they used to go like did the fucking selfies and stuff and the photo moments, and I've always loved him. Pose. And yeah, so for me, like I've always, so anything with Edge, I love automatically. And now this is highly amusing. But Rhea Ripley beating the crap out of Dominic Mysterio is like, it's like they took every thought I ever had and gave it to me. Like, it was just so perfect. I love Rey Mysterio. He's a great tiny little man who flies around in the ring, but his son sucks.
He does, and it's like
the
perfect form of nepotism because all of a sudden he doesn't have to go to like the Rock's kids in NXT, but Dominic Mysterio gets to skip NXT and just go right to the main roster.
What's his name? One of the Usos, like their like younger brother is going through NXT right now, Solo Sitka.
Yeah,
so like
is that his brother or their cousin?
I think it's their brother. Like the Uso twins, it's their brother, and they're all Roman Reigns' cousin. Solo Sitka. Yeah. No, like he's going through NXT, and his cousins and brother like rule WWE right now. So like, I feel like Dominic Mysterio is the perfect example of why you need to go through something like NXT. Like you need to go through developmental if you're going to be that. Like, I mean, he's skinny fat, so it's like he's not even like he's in shape. He's like squishy but skinny at the same time. I don't understand.
He's got to wear that like jumpsuit that has faux muscles,
but it doesn't
have real
muscles. Right, but it sucks him in like a sausage.
And that stupid like, mullet that he's got. Yeah.
Oh, the hair! I can't even. I think Rhea Ripley needs to like put him in the Hurt Lock and then have one of those guys shave his head or something. Like that needs to happen.
I think the Judgment Day is a waste of all of their talents. I think it's a waste of Finn Balor's talent. I think it's a waste of Edge. It was a waste of Edge's talent, and it's good for Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, but there's Finn Balor doesn't things fit that to me.
I don't know. I think Finn Balor needs to do something because he's good, and I think he's a really good technical wrestler. But I think there's a place for things like this, and there's an ebb and flow, and they'll flow back to the top again for a little bit, and then they'll go back to the mid card and flow back up, and that's just where he's at right now. And I honestly like this Finn Balor better than I like the whole demon thing. I wasn't into that.
Demon Finn Balor, but I liked his Prince persona more when he was in New Japan and what they tried to do with it in WWE.
So it's there's a time and a place for everything, and it's just going through those motions. Right now, I'm excited. Right now, I like all the. You can see my. Hey, Randy, I'm a big
Riddle.
Yeah, I'm a big Riddle fan. Riddle and Randy Orton. I liked it when those two were together, and I was really sad when Randy Orton had to go off and get fixed because I love watching that so much together. And but I like all this Riddle stuff with Seth Rollins. I think Seth Rollins coming out looking like he raided Becky Lynch's closet every week is kind of great.
Yeah.
It's like they share a wardrobe or something. I kind of like it. Then what else was on? There was something else. On Raw this week they had McIntyre. I love Drew McIntyre. I think anybody who brings a sword into the ring and swings it around is awesome automatically. And he came in. Did they have an actual fight? I think it was him and KO.
Him and Kevin Owens had a good match. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good match. KO, Kevin Owens from Quebec.
Yeah. Kevin Steen.
I like Kevin Owens. He looks like a normal dude who happened to become a wrestler, and it's just great. Like, it makes me think of like Fred Flintstone or something who happened to decide to wrestle. He's great. I liked all that stuff he had going with not Elias, Ezekiel.
Elias' brother.
All of that stuff. I like that goofy stuff too, right? Like I feel like.
Did you like the picture of Ezekiel's family by his bedside?
Oh my God. That was that I died. I looked at it at work and I laughed out loud and everybody looked at me, and then all these like little Gen Z kids were like, "What are you laughing at? I don't understand." I was like, "Oh, great." Like maybe I feel old now. I'm like, gosh. No, I found out last week. I was trying to talk to people about stuff at work, and all my coworkers are younger than me. And I found out my wallet is older than two of my coworkers last week. So
nice.
Yeah, it's my Nintendo wallet. Looks like a Nintendo controller. I saved up a lot of GameStop points to get that bad boy. A lot. Thank you very much.
Nice.
No, but yeah. Oh, you know what else I like that they've been doing is they're working their way up to the women's tag team titles.
Yes.
And they have that bracket going. I like how they're bringing up a lot of NXT girls, and they're kind of revitalizing the women's division. They needed to do something with that so bad. I kind of like what they're doing.
They brought apparently a Toxic Attraction went against Natalia.
Yeah.
Tonight on SmackDown.
And I'm excited to watch it. And then Nikita Lyons and someone else are coming up for the tag team fight too. I love her. She's amazing. Her finishing move is like her doing the splits on the other chick's face.
Yeah.
Like,
see, I
like
almost
that
wonder
is that's amazing.
I almost wonder if they traded her out because Toxic Attraction wasn't on the graphic when they originally announced the women's tag team. So
she was out with an injury for a while, so maybe she just couldn't come back yet. They need to bring her back in a major way. I don't care if it's on NXT. I don't care if they bump her up. I will watch her anywhere because I remember thinking, who's this chick? I don't know. And then she did that thing with the splits, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Awesome. Toxic Attraction, that chick's pretty cool. What's her name with the orange? Gigi Dolan. Mm-hmm. I used to watch that show, what is it? My Big Fat Gypsy Wedding. So I immediately recognized her.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that chick. And I thought that's great transition. Of course, one of them would be a professional wrestler. They're great at beating each other up. So it works.
Then she got her fame for her indie stuff. Where
that thing with the tampon.
Shoved a tampon in someone's mouth. Yeah.
Ooh, that's hard even for me to digest. But man. No, but yeah, so I'm excited with the stuff they're doing with the women's tag teams. So, and hey, I hear we might be getting Sasha Banks and Naomi back soon.
That's the word. Yeah. What do you think of so far of the Triple H era of WWE? I
am excited. I fucking love Triple H. I liked what he did with NXT. I liked what he was doing before he had his heart attack. And when I heard they were bringing when he was going to be in charge, I was like, yes, because I think he has a great eye for talent. He knows what to look for. He knows how to work with people. He knows. I mean, he's just so good at what he does. And he was, I think, excellent in ring when he did all that great stuff. during the Attitude Era and all of that. And
He loves Ciampa.
some of the best stuff with Triple H, and like iconic stuff, like stuff that's like crazy, and when it was his time to shine, he stepped up, he grabbed the ball, he was like, I'm doing it, and he did it. And it's so the fact that he's playing this huge part now in the company, with the talent, I think he's the guy who should be doing it. He knows what he's doing, he knows what he's about. I think him and Shawn Michaels could easily rule that company and take it into a great future. Honestly, between the two of them, it's hands down not a. I didn't even question it. Already just in the last couple of weeks, it's been better, both SmackDown and Raw. So,
yeah, and I think Raw definitely has that feel of being better, but
yeah,
to me they're pushing all these new people to the top.
Yeah, I think
and
it's
all of
off-putting for people, I think.
Yeah, you have your big stars like AJ Styles and all that
Yeah.
are jobbing out on the mid card when they should be top players. And
Well, to be fair, AJ Styles is, getting up there. He's kind of turning into dad bod AJ Styles.
yeah, but he could still, like, I would like to see him and Finn be pushed back to the top, and like
I feel like
need to see Brock
some people.
we don't need to see Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the umpteenth time.
That's true. I feel like we
Roman
need to
Reigns
change
versus
that
Drew
up a bit.
McIntyre, or
they do need to fresh blood in there. I think that's what they're trying to do with Karrion Kross, right? Like they threw him right into the deep end. He came back. He's back. He doesn't have that weird mask. His creepy girlfriend's there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's what they're trying to do with him, is what it felt like to me. But I don't know. There's just some people that are really good at jobbing. You know what I mean? Like they're just really good at making mediocre wrestlers look good. And so that's what they do, right?
That's kind of where Ziggler's sitting.
Yeah, right now, that's what Dolph Ziggler does. And he's great to watch. I've never not liked watching Dolph Ziggler. And he's mid-card, but that's what he does, man. He's good at it, right? Mm-hmm. Ishvan loves Dolph Ziggler. It's like it's because he's Hungarian. Dolph Ziggler, did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he is Hungarian, apparently. So that means automatic BFF status.
Yeah, he's fun to watch, but I'm interested in what the angle is with Dexter Lumis too. How he just shows up and then gets arrested
when he showed up again, I was kind of excited. And they addressed it on NXT too. I heard. I didn't get to watch the episode, but I heard they addressed it with what's her face on NXT. Like they made him. So like maybe they're gonna do something. Maybe they're gonna bring her over, and they're gonna keep doing that. Because they got rid of him right in the middle of whatever they were doing with those two, and it was just kind of like, oh, yeah, okay. Indy Hartwell, that's right, that's her name. But yeah. Oh, I'm excited for the Clash of the Castle pay-per-view. I'm kind of McIntyre and Roman Reigns, take it or leave it, whatever. But I am excited to see Shayna Baszler punch a hole through Liv Morgan's face. If she doesn't win that, then there's no way on this planet. Well, there's no way she should have beat Ronda Rousey. Look at her. Attila's bigger than Liv Morgan, man.
Well, I think that's what they're leading to is Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey at Mania. So
yeah, but Shayna Baszler looks like she would murder her and bury her under the ring. She is terrifying, in a serial killer kind of a way. And I love it, and I want to see that fight so bad. I want to see what happens. That to me.
I would like to see her go back to that Queen of Spades.
Yeah.
Character where she was just ruthless in NXT, and unbeaten for so long.
I would like to see that. I remember when I first saw her, and I was like, because there was a huge gap in it. I watched and followed wrestling through the early 2000s, and then it dropped off, and I didn't pay much attention, and then Ishvan started watching it a little over a year ago now, probably, and I thought, and I jumped back in, and I was like, I know these people. And I remember when I first saw Shayna Baszler, I was like, holy cow, I just got a little scared for my own life watching her wrestle.
Is that a dude?
Like I was like, what? Where did they find her?
Yeah.
Like I was like, whoa. Right? Because you have people who are like, you know, they have that fighting background like Ronda Rousey, but then like Shayna Baszler is like a whole nother level. Like she's insane.
Yeah.
And then I guess in real life she's like a gamer.
Yep.
Like she tabletop gamer. I was like, of course she is. Of course she's like the D&D chick.
Yeah, she's on Up Up Down Down with Xavier Woods quite a bit.
Yeah. No, that was like, okay, that I can see that. It makes sense. Like I could see her getting down and dirty playing board games. She's no, that fight, that's gonna be that's the one I want to see at the pay-per-view. Everything else, so take it or leave it, like I said, any of the rest of those fights, but that one.
Yeah, I feel like Clash of the Castle's a little telegraphed for McIntyre to win the title, but this is gonna be the first match where I hope Roman retains because I don't want to see Drew McIntyre have the title again.
Yeah, but it might be more believable for him to get it and then get beat by someone else than for have someone else who's fresh and new beat Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
right, because Roman Reigns right now is just kind of like a tank driving through everything.
But I think like seeing Roman go against Karrion Kross for the title is more exciting than watching him fight Drew McIntyre again. Like,
but I feel like if I was watching that, I would expect. I mean, I wouldn't believe that Karrion Kross would beat him. Right? So like maybe I don't know. I feel like you'd have to work your way up to that. Like say Karrion Kross beats Drew McIntyre for the title, and then Roman Reigns comes back, and then they, right? I feel like that might be more believable.
I mean, you didn't really get to see much of what Karrion Kross could do as champion in NXT because he won the title, got hurt, had to relinquish it, and then Finn Balor got the title back. So you don't really get to see how Karrion Kross can carry a championship. So it would be interesting to see him do that against Roman Reigns or see their feud. But I don't know if I want to see McIntyre win it again right now.
I don't know. I like McIntyre. Like I said, he has a sword. He swings it around. He shouts at people with the sword. I like that. I don't know.
But he's like the original Vince McMahon guy because he was supposed to be he was originally what Austin Theory is now.
I know, but then they got rid of him because he was like,
sucked.
He sucked. Was a little putz, right? So they got rid of him. And then he came back with chest hair and a beard, and that's all it took. Apparently, he quit waxing his chest, and all of a sudden he was winning.
But it's like it just seems like a lot of that. You go out in the indies, you hone your craft, and then you come back home better.
No, and you know what? It did him a world of good. The before and after there is very, very noticeable. I think if you watch some of McIntyre's early babyface stuff versus the stuff he's putting out now, it's like a whole nother level. Like he went out and he did good by himself.
And I think Theory could get there too if they got him away from this stupid selfie gimmick. Like
God,
if they changed his gimmick up, he could get there too, and he could be a good top star. But
he's such a little douche waffle. It's like why?
Yeah.
Why? I just want to see someone beat him up. I don't care who it is. I want someone to beat him up. I've got it. Dream match. I want Liv Morgan to beat the crap out of Austin Theory. That would be the most believable fight, I think, ever in WWE history.
Hornswoggle.
I would watch the hell out of that pay-per-view. Hell in a Cell. Theory.
Liv Morgan versus Austin Theory.
It'd be more believable than someone like how did I just forget? We were just talking about him. Little dad bod. Teeny weeny.
Oh, Dominic Mysterio?
No, he's tall and skinny fat.
Or Kevin Owens.
No, the phenomenal one. AJ Styles. Just brain farted there. No, this is like they had AJ Styles fighting Bobby Lashley on Raw. I was like, Bobby Lashley is literally the size of my house. And like AJ Styles is like literally the size of my toddler. Like, that's not a believable.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's that old adage that muscle doesn't equate to quickness. So it's AJ Styles' speed and technical skills versus Lashley's power.
I know, but like,
it's-
and I'm not even the hugest Bobby Lashley fan.
Oh,
right?
I
But-
can't
but
stand
it's-
Bobby Lashley.
I'm not the hugest fan. Ishvan loves him, but I'm just like, I didn't like him as a heel. I thought he made the best toddler faces as a heel. You ever notice that? Heels make these faces, and it's like, oh, my kid made that face when he cried because he didn't want his chicken nuggets at dinner.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I know what that face means.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns has good toddler face too, if you ever pay attention.
He does.
Like it's like something like maybe I never would have noticed if I didn't have a toddler, but I do now. Anyway, I'm getting the signal. Ishvan wants.
Okay.
He wants back.
Okay. Thanks for
see you later,
talking
guys.
wrestling with me.
Bye.
Bye. And your mom has left the building. Hope you all had a good time talking with your mom about professional wrestling. I know I did. Never knew that your mom was so into wrestling. But very knowledgeable. See, Ish sold it like she had some big rant today in the group chat. He's like, you should talk to you should have your mom be on to talk wrestling. She's got this big raw rant. You oversold the rant.
I
Ish.
guess.
You oversold the rant.
Well, maybe it like throughout the day it kind of went from rant to just
It wasn't a rant.
thoughts. No, she stood in the parking lot behind the shop. Instead of like putting the kid in the car, just stopped and went on this 5-minute bit about Dolph Ziggler headbutting Austin Theory. And I was like, this is the energy we need to have on the show about wrestling.
Yeah.
You know what? I like Drew McIntyre too. And yeah, it's totally feels scripted what's going to happen at the castle, but let it happen. It's Scotland. The king shall be crowned.
Well, there's a rumor going around that USA is making demands of the new regime.
USA Network, you mean?
Yeah, and one of the demands is that they want a world heavyweight champion on Raw every week. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some stipulation added to this match where it's only for one title. It's either for the world heavyweight championship or the universal championship, and he's going to beat him for one title, and Roman keeps the other. Because I think they're still holding so tightly on trying to get The Rock versus Roman at Mania for the world championship. And I still firmly believe that it's going to be Cody Rhodes is going to either show up at Royal Rumble and win the Royal Rumble, or Cody Rhodes is going to challenge Theory for his Money in the Bank briefcase. Theory is going to lose. Cody's going to win it and cash it in on The Rock or Roman at Mania, just so The Rock doesn't have to stick around. I wouldn't be surprised if Rock beats Roman at Mania to put him in his place, and Cody cashes in on so Rock doesn't have to stay. So, but I definitely see a stipulation being added where they ununify the world.
So do you think the Universal title still stays with SmackDown and the World Heavyweight goes to Raw, or is it kind of interchangeable now?
I mean, I think it's interchangeable, but the fact that one belt is blue already, I think makes a world of difference. So,
yes,
yeah, I think the Universal Championship would stay at Raw, and the other one would come back to, or the one would stay with SmackDown, the other one would come back to Raw.
Yeah, I think Universal is with SmackDown.
Yeah,
and the Raw title, which is kind of, to me, has always been the big title, right? It's the one that's goes all the way back. Bruno Sammartino held that title, and so I think that's the king of the titles. And then Universal title is just kind of slots right underneath.
Yeah, like if I was in professional wrestling, that's what I would want.
So what do you think Roman Reigns gets to keep then?
I think he's going to keep the Universal title.
Okay.
Honestly.
So it kind of
Like-
goes back to the status quo of like a year ago.
But yeah, if I think you're right. Like if I was a professional wrestler, the world heavyweight championship would be the belt I would want. I don't want that stupid WWE knockoff Universal Championship. I want that
You want the
prestigious world heavyweight championship.
OG belt.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but it just, yeah, I don't know. So far, Clash of the Castle, like the Roman Reigns, I don't want to see Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre again. I want to see someone else new step up. He's already run through Brock Lesnar twice. He's already beat Seth Rollins. He's beat Kevin Owens. He's beat Shinsuke. He's beat everyone. John Cena. Drew McIntyre, I don't need to. I'm good. I would love to see him versus Karrion Kross. Or, Dexter Lumis. Or even Ciampa. Like, put Ciampa up there, man. Or somebody. Just.
Yeah, Ciampa's badass.
They have, the demon, stupid demon Finn Balor, as much as I love him, was like a very coveted character. Like he only came out at certain times, and you knew when the demon came out that Finn was probably winning that match. And then you have Roman Reigns end that and beat the demon. The demon was undefeated when he came out, and then you have Roman Reigns stop that.
Isn't the last time we saw the demon was when the the ropes broke, right? And all the lights went out.
Yeah. So it's just, I don't know. I'm not caught up on SmackDown. I've not watched SmackDown from tonight yet. I'll have to do that this weekend sometime. AEW, you got they're pushing hard for Jon Moxley versus CM Punk, which should be interesting.
I saw some rumor, looked like clickbait, but CM Punk leaving AEW.
Apparently there was rumors going around that when he got injured, he was pissed off about the direction things were going, and people have been quoted as speculating that he was they were surprised he didn't walk out while this was all going on.
I heard that he was quoted as saying this podcast with these geeks on it that went viral just fucking sent his life into a tailspin. And now he might have to leave AEW now.
Hey, I'll take that. I'll take credit for sending his life into a tailspin to where now he's got to quit professional wrestling and come on back to WWE to stand by his word. But no, I mean Kenny Omega coming back and I don't know. AEW is interesting too. Like now they're introducing trios champions, something that you saw in if you ever watched like Lucha Underground. I don't know about trios championships, but it is what it is. The world of professional wrestling has definitely been interesting the last couple of weeks. That's for sure.
It's good times.
And whatever product you watch, WWE, AEW, or both, it's good for everyone because when one product's doing well, it forces the other to step its game up.
Yeah.
So like I even feel like NXT's kind of stepped its game up now. And Raw and SmackDown are both good, which is driving AEW to be better. So good professional wrestling all the way around is good for wrestling fans. So,
hey, you want to talk comic books real quick?
Sure. What do you got?
Well, you said you read the new Tom King.
The Joker book.
Yep.
I mean the Riddler book.
Yep, you liked it a lot.
I did. It was, it's like the Riddler's version of Killing Joke. It was almost like structurally set up just like the Killing Joke, where it's...
What'd you think of him, though, like blasting people away? I thought that felt un-Riddlerish.
Yeah, it was almost felt like you had... In the book, it almost felt like you had this, like... They were doing away with the stigma of the Riddler that everyone has. And they were trying to show you a new, different side of the Riddler because,
like more of a psychopath.
Yeah, because it kind of
Jim Carrey, I guess.
Yeah, and it covers like it shows you, it breaks down how sadistic he really is, and in a lot of ways, he's more calculated and cold and sadistic than even the Joker because like, and it shows you all of his stuff from school, how he's essentially getting pissed off because he's getting beat by his dad, who's the headmaster at this school, for not getting 100% on his
real
test.
bad dude.
Mm-hmm. And it's because his professor's like throwing these riddles at him as part of the test instead of extra credit, and he's not getting them, and then he tries to cheat. But it just shows, like, it goes into showing how sadistic he is, because it talks about, like, I gave the Joker this information to tell him that Barbara Gordon was going to be home at this time. So, like, the whole, like, shocking moment of the Killing Joke was information that the Riddler gave to the Joker, and the Joker just did with it as he pleased. And just kind of like that power move of him basically telling Batman, look, I know you're Bruce Wayne. I know that, you know, Dick Grayson is Nightwing. I know that Jason Todd's Red Hood, and that your Damian Wayne is your Robin. And he goes, I'm going to kill everybody in your family if you get in my way. And his game is so polarizing to Batman that, like, even Batman is kind of like not touching him. Like, he's staying away from him, you know? He's like, I'm going to kill everybody, you know? And even to the point where Batman, he won up to the world's greatest detective, you know? And then the end of it is very reminiscent of Killing Joke, where Joker's, you know, laying in the rain. And this one, you have Enigma talking about how he's outsmarted the Batman and how he's so intelligent, but then you get like the panel where it just shows Batman behind him, and then it goes dark, so you don't know what happens. But I really, really liked it. I didn't know that it was going to be. Kyle told me that it's going to continue, so there's going to be a one bad day for Bane.
Yeah, so
and all these
it's kind of
other
technically a
villains.
one shot, but all the different villains are getting one. I feel it's going to be big shoes. I think the next one's Penguin. It's going to be big shoes to fill on this Tom King one. You know, it's like, what can they come
Tom
up
King
with the Penguin?
writing all of them, or no?
No, it's different writers for each one. I can't remember who's doing Penguin. Like, there's going to be Two-Face, Penguin, I think Red Hood. And they're all like, you know, the big DC writers are doing each one. Yeah.
Yeah. But I really thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a long read. It's fucking 40 pages, but
I thought it was 62 pages.
Oh no, you're right. It is 60. Yeah.
Or 68.
It's the premium format. Yeah. So it is definitely a long book. But what else did you read this week?
Marvel had an interesting comic, the Avengers 1 million BC.
I got that. The origin of Thor, the new origin of Thor.
Yeah, so that's kind of a big deal, a major retconning of a character. But it's not really out of the blue, because, you know, Jason Aaron, who did it with his Thor title, and he's been building this Avengers series, right? He's at like issue 60. And this Avengers 1 billion BC stuff was in the first couple issues, right? Yep. So it's been thread along, and they've popped up here and there throughout the series. So he's really been building to this. And yeah, like a big new origin story for Thor.
Yep. His dad boned out the Phoenix.
Yeah. I don't know what else.
Daredevil had a big big issue.
Oh,
this week.
That's right.
Issue 2.
That was like big,
Chip Zdarsky
large format,
relaunch.
kind of nicer paper.
Yeah.
Versus, I don't know if you got X-Men this week.
That
was like on fucking rice paper. Even the incentive variant was on the thinnest, cheapest paper I can imagine. Really? And X-Men 13 had like 4 variants just out of nowhere. It was very weird, but I'm glad they did the Daredevil one a little more justice with kind of nicer paper, nicer covers.
Well, it's kind of like it's a milestone issue at 650 issues.
650, yeah.
But you get what's that?
Bill Sienkiewicz's Predator variant.
Mm-hmm.
That was badass.
It also had a Skrull variant that was kind of dog trash.
I didn't see that one.
It's the pretty much announcing that him and Elektra are going to get married. So that's interesting.
Oh, okay.
They had the relaunch of issue 1 of Sandman from DC this week.
Oh, the facsimile edition. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I picked that up, and then they had I got a bunch of stuff I haven't read yet. Like I've got Daredevil. I got the Sandman. I got the Riddler. That Batman One Bad Day Riddler. Hulk. The end of the Banner War between Hulk and Thor.
Yep.
I picked up Edge of
Well, I
Spider-Verse
think there will be one
2,
more Banner War like Omega issue.
probably
Yeah.
in Thor. But yeah, I got Edge of Spider-Verse 2. I got the Last Shadowhawk
Okay.
because apparently it's rumored to be the first appearance of the new Witchblade.
Did you see the variant on that?
So
they had a variant that was made up of all the covers.
Oh no,
of,
I ended up getting this one, the McFarlane homage.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, the multi-cover one was pretty cool.
I picked that up, and I picked up of course Star Wars Path to Victory 26, Mandalorian number 2, and then Avengers the 10,000 BC, Nightwing 95, and then the Batman 25 second print, just because I thought the cover was dope with the purple and black and the big giant bat symbol. Yeah, and then also Savage Avengers. So
yes,
the Witchblade stuff, or the Conan the Barbarian stuff. So
with the spoiler,
one
book that did pretty well for us. And we kind of a lot of our customers are really into like Coffin Comics, Chaos Comics, Brian Pulido, Lady Death, Purgatory, that whole universe. Mm-hmm. And they came out with a new one, Lady Hell, and it did really well. We sold the main cover, the variants, the blank cover. Had some cool artwork on it.
Brian Pulido, man, I can't. I think it's more so it's not so much his content, but it's just the fact that like he lives here and he's everywhere. He's everything here.
He does. He's pretty omnipresent. He's a good guy.
Yeah. But that's all I picked up.
He shops at our store, so.
Oh, does he?
What can I say? Yeah.
Yeah. Don't talk bad about him. You don't want to lose a customer. But no, I mean I like him, and
no, he shows up at Old Man Con.
Yeah.
Court, dude, everyone gravitate towards him, and he's just there to, of course, hold court, but also to shop. Dude loves comics.
He's at Phoenix Fan Fusion always, and I even think he's at Tucson Comic Con in a few weeks.
Yeah, probably.
So, but yeah, it was a big week this week for stuff that came out. A shirtless bear fighter too.
New Garth Ennis, Jimmy's Little Bastards.
Kyle asked me if I read that book, and I didn't see it on the shelf, so I have not read that yet.
Oh, okay. It came in one of those prestige extra large formats.
I might have to try and see if I can get my hands on it this weekend, but I have not read that one yet.
Yeah,
next week looks like
Mandalorian too. Which,
yeah.
I mean, for me, I don't really care about it because it's just an adaptation of the TV show. But we had people calling in like, "Hey, can I reserve 3 copies of it?" So I think people are still speccing on a lot of Mando stuff.
It's because they're speccing that it's billed on. And this goes back to what we were talking about last week with stupid apps, but it's billed on Key Collector. And not that Key Collector is a stupid app, but it's built on Key Collector as Grogu's first appearance in comics, which I guess they're calling the fact that he appears at the end of the first issue a cameo. So yeah, it's
gonna be the Hulk 181 debate.
Yeah,
with
so it's being billed as Grogu's first appearance in comics. So that's why that book is crazy where it's at. Yeah, next week looks like a big week too. With Detective Comics 1063, Amazing Spider-Man 8, Fantastic Four, Miles Morales, Darth Vader, Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn's a weekly book now.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's totally gone weekly. The last 4 issues were 4 weeks in a row. I don't know what the deal is, why they're in such a rush.
Spider-Verse, Gwenverse 5, Red Hood, or Batman Beyond White Knight, Red Hood. I've actually really liked the White Knight universe, though. It's been good. Damage Control #1, which has a very interesting team the cover.
Mm-hmm.
It's from the creator of the Goldbergs.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's about like looks like it's featuring team is Nightcrawler, Quicksilver, Moon Knight, Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider, and then She-Hulk. Pretty interesting.
Do you pick up World's Finest?
I do not.
Okay. Because I had some customers asking me because they read it, and I guess whatever the story was in World's Finest kind of paused for a second, and they did a Robin story, and it ends on a cliffhanger. And it was like, people were like, how is this going to continue? And it continues in the #1 of a new series called Batman versus Robin. So that's spinning out of Mark Waid's World's Finest.
Is it which Robin is it? Is it Damian Wayne?
No, I believe Tim Drake.
Oh, okay.
Wait, shit. Now I don't. Now I'm second guessing myself. Maybe it is Damian. No. It's Dick Grayson. Sorry, it's Dick Grayson.
Oh, it's that far back?
Because that's what on the cover of World's Finest it says Dick Grayson flies again with the Flying Graysons or something.
Oh yeah,
like that.
Okay.
And then it ends, and they're like, it ends, but it's going to continue on the Batman Superman story. But the Dick Grayson story continues in Batman versus Robin.
Yeah, First Flight of the Flying Graysons.
There you go. So I wonder if almost like Mark Waid's creating his own little mini Batverse, where things spin out of World's Finest as kind of the main title, totally ignoring the other Batman and other Superman titles.
Well, you know why I don't read World's Finest, right?
Because you hate Mark Waid?
No, I hate Superman.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I should have done that. I should have seen
the minute
that
it says
coming.
Batman, Superman on the title, I'm like, no, thank you. So, I can't do it. Can't do it. But anything else comic book wise you want to talk about?
I don't know. I think we covered all the bases.
Oh,
we didn't talk about Batfleck.
No, we didn't.
And how the rumor is now that Michael Keaton his Batman will not be the Nick Fury of the DC universe, as he once kind of had it mapped out to happen.
Which I think is stupid. If this new CEO of Warner Discovery is really trying to make waves, then he would keep them, and wants to make this movie make money. He would keep Keaton in it. I think you're gonna lose a lot of interest if they reshoot Keaton out with Affleck.
Yeah, that would be crazy. So maybe they keep Keaton, but they kind of change the movie back to a Snyderverse movie.
But it's supposed to be multiverse, so it's Flashpoint, so it's multiverse. So Keaton could still be there in any.
But they wanted Keaton to be supposedly he was going to be like a Charlie's Angels kind of thing, where he was Charlie, and then the team was all women: Batgirl, Supergirl, Batwoman. So now with Batgirl canceled, maybe they're dismantling that whole idea. And then that Keaton Batman's still going to play a role, but not necessarily that role of running a female-led Justice League.
Yeah, well, what's your opinion on? I know that Bill had some interesting stuff to say about the Acetane Gate, and what do you think about what they did at Boston? What fucking Black Flag did at Boston?
Which is what?
So they set up their table on the floor like they normally would, but they didn't have any product at the table. They just laid dumb suckers on the table.
I saw that and I thought that was like a parody. I'm like, that's not real. Someone's just this post or something. That's actually a real news
happened.
Item.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And people were trying to sell them online for like $200.
Oh man. It's funny that I laughed, and the next day, guess who announces their return? Bad Idea Comics.
With another, what is it, like 6 number ones they want you to pre-order before you even know who the writers are, what the stories are, or
This is the same publishing company that came up with the Invisible comic.
Yeah.
So I mean, it just feels like they're just piling on the fucking stupid shit right now.
Well, not even that. They came with the Invisible comic, but then they like went down in a blaze of glory and controversy themselves, I believe, for the way they tried to do business, because they were their number one scandal and how their whole thing with the buttons and all that, and then just coming back, like, I don't know, man. It just seems like there's a lot of fuckery going on in the comic book industry right now.
And there's a lot of people who are like, sign me up. I'm going to stand in line and give you my money for this fuckery, because I think this fuckery is something worth investing in.
Yep.
I mean, it's kind of bonkers.
It's just people trying to make a quick buck, man. That's all it is.
Have you ever seen that idea comic out there?
Yeah, I have. I have not. So it's not considered a first printing because I didn't pre-order it, but was it Enigmatic or whatever the first one? ENIAC. I have the first issue of that.
That seems like the probably the one that was kind of worth collecting, was that first print ENIAC #1. And I did see when Anthony Snyder's Comic-Con Across America rolled through, he had like a 9.8 slabbed. It was like some stupid price too.
Yeah.
And I saw it and I was like, okay, here it is. These books actually exist. Because up until then, I'd never even seen one.
But yeah, it's just like the way they did it, and the whole thing was marred in fuckery. And it still feels like it that way. Like, I don't know. I've heard Dinesh be interviewed multiple times.
Well, he was on. Was it on?
He was on Flipside. Yeah, they talked to him on Flipside about the shit that was going on with it when Bad Idea crumbled, and I don't understand why they're trying to come back. It almost feels like this is going to be a thing where they make 6 books and then they're going to crumble before they're finished, and then go back and try again. And it's just like, I don't understand their whole business model of, I'm not going to tell you anything about the book. I'm not going to tell you who's writing it. I'm not going to tell you the premise. You just have to pre-order the first 6 issues if you want to get it.
Yeah.
And if you want a first printing. If you just want to pick the book up off the shelf, that's fine. But we're going to put not a first printing all over the back of it, like they did with a lot of their books. So I don't know.
I think the next gimmick is just printing books that have errors in them, and then you recall them.
Mm-hmm. Or I'm just like, the EFT market is starting to take off in comic books too, where like Chris Jericho is doing a graphic novel with NFTs and stuff, and where you own a piece of the comic and the character. But like, even then, I feel like there's going to be fuckery abound in that, and people are going to get screwed out of owning these NFTs they're going to be basically left with their cock in their hand when it's not worth jack shit,
It's like people who buy like pieces of land on the moon,
right?
And think they actually own. And you actually think you own a piece of the moon,
right? You don't own shit.
You just gave some dude money for a laugh.
Yeah. You just hawked over $10 for the government to fund whatever crazy ass project they're doing next, to think you own a piece of the moon. But yeah, I don't know, man. There's a lot of sketchiness going on in comic books. And like this Ascertain thing, and even Marvel's reply to it was like, all right, it was like a slap on the hand, because they just came back and said, we just want to reiterate to all of our retailers that we hold our characters and our IP in the highest regards, and do not, as cool as store variants are, they have to be approved by Marvel. Everything has to be approved by Marvel. Don't go stapling your own shit over our books. And
they certainly can't be printed on better paper that Marvel uses.
Yeah, it was kind of like a slap on the wrist, like, Black Flag. They don't give a shit about the secondary market, though. They're all focused on direct to store market, the primary market. They don't give a shit.
Well, the real customers, who are the stores.
Yeah. Right. So they're just like, don't screw with our IP and whatever. But like I said, it's all tomfoolery. But
All right.
But yeah, anything else you want to talk about this week?
I think we're good.
All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for hanging out tonight. Zaggy said it'd be cool if they blacklisted him, right? But they probably won't. But I want to thank everyone for hanging out in the chat this week. Zaggy, your mom, Eric, Max, thanks for stopping in from your bald and bearded convention. Jedi Dick, Stick Boy, Hartman, Aaron.
Hartman was on a roll tonight.
Yeah, Hartman he's a good dude. Am I forgetting? Joe's dueling. Everyone who hanging out in the chat, thanks for stopping by. It was good to see your mom talking a little bit of pro wrestling. You gonna be on Saturday Night Special, I-ish?
That would be tomorrow.
Yeah,
I guess so. If they send me a link,
I think you're gonna get a link. So be prepared, sir. But yeah, if you haven't already done so, make sure to head over to Run-A-Vision and subscribe to them, and subscribe to our new Saturday show, Saturday Night Special, that is being multicast between this channel and Run-A-Vision. If you like the old school Absolute Geek crew with me and Kyle, you can find it. We've got the night Ish and Sam rounding out the crew. You never know who's going to stop over there and make surprise appearances. But yeah, so if you got nothing better to do tomorrow night, come check out Saturday Night Special.
Marco.
Yeah, Marco. Well, we'll see how much Marco's there, but
he can't stay away from us.
If you miss old school Absolute Geek and MCM, come watch us on Saturday Night Special. It's a good time. Good information, good talk about comics, man, and just having a good time. But for this week's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast, it's in the books. So for Lance and Matt and Ish,
and Ish.
Ish is everyone. And we'll see you guys next time.
All you freaks and geeks,
Come all you freaks and geeks. Let's listen to Absolute Geek.
Absolute Geek,
We'll go ahead and spread our cheeks
spread the cheese,
and drink
And
some
over for
Cosby wine.
we'll
Come
drink
on,
some
you
Cosby wine. It makes me feel real fine. See you next time.